I'm just gonna grab a screwdriver. I'll be right back. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? So today I'm going to be modding our giveaway cube. Between just life happening and stuff, it's been a little postponed, so I want to make sure I get this done. But we're going to add magnets to this today, and then tomorrow I'll be UV coating over all of the carbon fiber stickers, and we're going to try and turn this into more than just a non-magnetic Meilong here. How's your day going? Okay. So first thing we do is we're essentially going to take the entire cube apart. I don't think this has ever been lubed, so I don't really have to do too much cleaning, which is nice. Just making sure these are overall clean, which it looks like there is. Yeah, I don't see a bit of lube or anything in here. I know I haven't lubed it, but I just mean from the factory or anything. So yeah, so what you're going to do is, like I said, take apart all of your pieces. I like to keep them organized, so I'll put like one corner piece and one edge piece together like this. Sorry, I'm just looking up a picture for reference how I did this last time. Okay. So essentially what you do is you set an edge piece up with your corner piece with one of your corners, and when you do this, if you just do this between one edge and one corner for each color all the way down the line, they will all be right in the end, essentially. So we're going to go ahead and keep disassembling pieces, and then you don't actually even have to keep them with the same color. I just like to do that from my own peace of mind and keeping things organized. It helps me out a little bit. Okay. And the way, so I was just figuring out which side to put the corner piece on in relation to the edge. So the way you know is the side that has the holes. So this side that has the, let's see if I can get in focus here. Oh geez, that's really bad. But this side that has the holes that the post would go into, you don't really want to put the magnet on that side because the hole is up higher, so it's going to force you to put the magnet up higher in the middle of the piece. The side with the stock is the side with the post coming out, is the side you want to put it on. So that's how you know you want to put your corner piece lined up on that side. So that way your magnet gets closer to the corner of the actual piece. And if you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. So the first part is just kind of organization. We're going to lay out all of our pieces. And then the second part is where we get into, it's funny, even the core on this, I've said this multiple times that the Meilong reminds me of like the RS3 MV5 standard or something, and it's just funny because when you take the core apart and everything, they actually look very similar even. There's subtle differences in the pieces, but that's about it. Okay, so far, I don't know if you can see, we're just aligning a bunch of edges and corners. So I'm just taking each one apart, setting it out, pretty much by color, and then taking, as we get our edges undone, then you'll start getting move on to the corners, and then you'll be able to match up the corner colors with the edge corners, or with the edge colors, sorry. Let's see if I can spread this out on here, pull this a little tighter. There we go. There we go. I paid off the entire year, remember? Yo, Cube Man. Yo, welcome. I was wondering where all my peeps were at. Yeah, there might be a typo in there, but I'll have to fix that later. I'm not too worried about it. I'm hoping people get the point. Hopefully they understand what we're doing. So right now I'm magnetizing the Meilong. This is our giveaway cube, so I'm going to be adding this light magnet kit. I did the strong magnet kit last time and it was just too much. At least for me, I personally thought there was too much of a click. Yeah, I can see your messages. Can you hear me? Okay. I was just making sure we were all copacetic here. Okay. And yes, I can see your messages. Cube Man and Crazy Cuber, how are you doing? So I just disassembled the cube. That's where I started. There was someone in here earlier, and I was going through it, but I'll totally explain. So I'm taking the cube apart, and what essentially yeah, it's funny because I asked and everyone said they wanted the stickers on because I had the 2x2 and I found that it makes it harder to see the colors. It makes it's I guess that's maybe the point of it is to create a new challenge. But yeah, if it was your main, I wouldn't I don't know if I would love the stickers either. I don't know. To be honest, they don't bother me. Like at this point, I got used to them. Like I said, I had the 2x2, and so I got used to seeing like the colors through. But it does make it harder because it presents kind of a different challenge. So what I'm doing is I'm getting each edge piece matched up with its corner. All right. And then once you have each edge piece lined up, I mean, you really only need to do that at the last moment, but so now we're essentially ready for our magnets. Yeah, have you seen any of my videos? Are you new? Because I definitely have UV coating videos if you'd like to watch them, and I will be making another one when I UV coat this cube. That's why I was saying that I know it's interesting because I took a poll on whether people wanted me to UV coat over the stickers, and they said yes, they definitely wanted the stickers on there. how am I going? Well, it's not real carbon fiber; they're just stickers, and the UV coating will just go right over it. I just need a scissors. 1 second. Yeah, essentially it should just go on over the stickers. I've UV coated a lot of different stickers before. I mean, if for obviously I'll give it a little test run, and if for any reason it doesn't adhere to those stickers, then obviously I wouldn't do it. But so far I've had no problems with any sticker. Even after, I mean, it'll damage. So I've actually UV coated a sticker onto my cube as like a logo, and then later I wanted to take it off because I wanted it to be comp legal, and I just took a little nail polish remover, took the UV coating off, peeled the sticker and the UV coating off, and the plastic was literally unharmed. Literally could never even could tell that anything was even there. The sticker was kind of messed up because the UV coating took the graphics off a little bit. But again, wasn't until you tried to remove it and you put nail polish remover on it, that's got acetone in it, which is going to start breaking all of that down. But the UV coating itself does nothing to the stickers actually, which is nice because it allows you to do projects like this. Well, that's a good question because you would absolutely think like, how is that going to work? So I don't know if you guys are familiar, like magnetizing a cube at all. If you ever do, so most magnet sticks come with 2 extra magnets on them. So what a lot of people will do is put a sticker or a piece of paper or something. That's why, like I said, I asked everyone, and they seem to all say yes about the UV coating. So, because I was very much on the fence of whether I was going to do it. I was like, I don't know. I don't. Some people don't like it. Some people they like, especially the carbon fiber part. So, but I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be nice and glassy, and but grippy because the UV coating I use is pretty grippy. But it's going to look really, really nice. I'm hoping. Like I said, if I do, I'm going to do one piece at a time. I'm going to start off, and if it turns out like it doesn't look good, then obviously I won't do it. But that's the nice thing about this UV coating too is, say you UV coat like a one piece, and you just kind of look at how is it settling, how does it look, does it look rippled, does it look flat, and if it doesn't look like it's going to look good, you can literally just wipe it off before you cure it. So something about the Meilong that I'm not sure if you know, but there's this little ring, this plastic ring right here that goes around the screw, which does not allow you to put in maglev. You can use the only kit that I've ever seen that might work is the Square One maglev kit, because those Square One maglev magnets are so small around and they might fit in there, but the actual MoU kits will definitely not fit. I've tried it before. I've actually I do a lot of modding, and so I've tried most ideas that I can think of, and the only reason I'm going this route is kind of because I've tried those things, but it's a great idea. I would love to maglev it. I was actually really bummed. I actually was almost considering cutting this entire plastic, this ring part. I was thinking about taking a Dremel or some kind of precision tool and just cutting the entire support out of the middle, but I didn't know quite if it would perform after I did that, because there's also these like support struts coming out the side. You have both of what? Sorry. Just clarifying so I know exactly what you're talking about. And CubeMan, seriously, if you'd like, I can send you either links to the videos I already have, or like I said, tomorrow I'll be posting a video on how to UV coat this cube. So either way, I can absolutely, when I'm done with this live stream, I can send you some links on DIY UV coating essentially. Okay, I just wasn't sure if you needed it like right away or not. Just wanted to make sure you had the video if you needed it, Because some people, they're like ready to do their project right now. So I don't know if you were here, but I just said it in my last live stream. I have the RS3M 2020 UV, and I have a ball core coming from SpeedCube Shop. That's going to be one of my next videos. Well, yeah, no one sells one, but like I said, you can buy the RS3M 2020, and you can buy an RS ball core from SpeedCube Shop and install it yourself, and that's what I'm going to do. So look forward to that video also, because that is definitely coming. Okay, I'm making a normal 1x2x3. I made a video showing it, and I need help with it. If you want to go see, maybe you could have. That's what I'm playing. Yeah, as soon as I'm waiting on the package to come from SpeedCube Shop, so as soon as it gets here from China, I will do the video like that day if I can. I promise I will not keep you waiting. Okay, so now I'm just going to go right down the line with all of these. Since I have my edges paired up with a corner piece, I'm going to go and just put like a little dab of glue in each edge piece, insert my magnet in there, let it get seated, put a little drop of just like a dab of glue on top of it, and then I'm going to put the helper magnet from the outside into the other piece. So first thing, actually I'm going to put a dab of glue in there. So first thing we do is we take our edge piece, you just want to coax the glue out very slowly. This is one that's already been opened, so I want to make sure that I might just switch. I have brand new tips. I might just I don't know if they sell an RS3 that has all that going on. Like I said, I think that you have to buy the RS3 and then buy the kit. I have the MGC, I have the VinCube. I'm waiting on the ball core VinCube. No what? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna get to this project. I'm not here to like argue about that. So what you do essentially is you want to get your magnet. You want to keep them all the same polarity. That's why you have this sticker in your magnet stick. So what I've done is I've put a little bit of glue, put my magnet in there. Let's see, it's hard to see, but you can see the magnet sitting in there, and then on the outside I have the helper magnet holding in place, and that I'm going to do that to each one, and that's going to keep the polarity consistent through each one. So I'm not going to glue this one on the outside. That one is going to come off, and it's going to go into the edge piece, and so that way the polarities are going to match. And so now we take just the littlest dab because you really don't need a lot of this glue. I've seen a lot of people like comment that there's just not enough glue in here, and there's more than enough. You just need to use it sparingly. So we're just going to go down the line and do that to each one. Yeah, I have the Geelong, the MGC, the Aosu, the Vin, the Meilong. I literally have every single one of those cubes that you just listed. And the nice thing about this glue is it stays gooey for a little bit, so you can put like, you can do like the first 4 pieces all at once and save yourself some time. So like what I do is I run this, I put the glue in there, and then I run the stick right up to the piece, and then last thing, just break off that magnet. It's easier when you have some fingernails, but then your helper magnet is holding that right in place just like the last one, and then we'll just take our glue and again put up the littlest dab on the top here, and now that piece is going to be completely, the edge piece is completely done. So you have 2 edge pieces done, and you just keep going down the line. And you just want to like tuck it right into the bottom corner if you can, as much as you can at least. But yeah, this cube will be, it's going to be modded and given away, so anyone that wants to win it, it's going to be magnetized and UV coated. Oh. So yeah, first we're going to go through Oh, I know what you meant. I'm just saying I have all of those. I'm waiting on my core magnetized kit for my Aosu. I'm going to magnetize that myself, but yeah, I have all of those cubes core magnetized. My neighbor is sponsored by PyCube Shop. I don't spend a lot of time on their website. Like, that's why I said I'm not going to argue about what they have on there, but they have a lot of stuff for sure. They're one of my favorites. So when are you doing your giveaway? You have 600 subs. That's awesome. I just like to thank everyone for their support. I definitely don't do YouTube or any of this to compete with anyone. This is 100% a thing that I do out of passion. I just really love cubing, and I love the community of cubers for the most part. They're usually really nice. Man, these magnets just kill your fingertips. What's up, Nerdy Cube? How you doing, bud? We're just magnetizing this Meilong. Trying to get some... Whew! Seriously, that kills your fingers. Ow! It's the peeling those magnets out with no fingernails. It's like, ooh, it's brutal. But yeah, how are you guys doing this weekend? I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I had to go to my nephew's first t-ball game. But I made it home, and I made it in time, so I figured let's do this. I want to get this giveaway cube done so someone can take it home. Jeez. Ow. Man, that really hurt. I'm not joking. Whew. That one was brutal. Yeah, that is rough. I mean, I remember from the last time I did this, but like I cut my fingernails, so it's just all right on that tip of my thumb. That is intense. Woo! Yow. What are you trying to do to him? Is there anything I can do to help? And just so you guys know, if any of you need help, like you're talking earlier, was it, yo, Joseph, how you doing? But yeah, if anyone needs any help on projects, Crazy Cuber or Infinity Blaze, if you guys are doing any customizations or CubeMan, my email is in my description for my page. It's just thecubechemist@gmail.com. So if you want to email me any of your projects you're working on, if you want me to take a look at those videos, that's the best way. When I'm done with the stream, I'll try to get time and go to your channel and find it and whatnot. But the best way is just to send me that video link straight away, and that way I can just open it up and take a look. And oh no, Crazy Cuber, don't discount it, man. You're doing great. That's awesome. Whether you did it from one way or another, man, you're doing something right. So I'm just giving you props, man. Good job, seriously. That's why I've definitely found it's like a combination of things that keep your channel alive. It's like live streams, like giveaways I like just because it's a great way to interact with the community, and especially with new cubers, like people that just want to cube and just want to get started cubing. Like those are the best people and the most fun people to help, is just because you know hopefully this will change their journey in cubing. Um, Katie. Right, Joseph, thank you. That's like the best idea ever, is actually making a real little tool for separating the magnets. And I literally was just like, it was 3 o'clock was coming, and I was like, oh, I need to get on live stream. And I got it all laid out, and then, yeah, hindsight is 20/20 for sure. And Katie, is that your significant other? That is, I'm so sorry. She's getting her toe amputated? Why can't you do live streams? Man, well, hopefully we can give you some time of distraction, Joseph. I'm sorry you're going through that, buddy. I really am. I've had some family health things and whatnot going on, and it's not easy or fun. So I'm sorry, and Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to make any assumptions, but yeah, I'm so sorry you're going through that, man. Truly. That microphone? Which microphone? So for anyone that's curious what's going on here, just to get everyone caught up, we are magnetizing our Meilong. And so what I've done is I've taken the whole cube apart, separated the pieces, because this is a split piece design cube. So I've separated them into their split pieces, and then now I'm just going ahead and putting the first magnet in each edge piece. I have an edge paired up with a corner piece. I do them by color. It's not necessary, but it just ensures me, for my peace of mind, that I'm doing everything correctly. Like if every green one and every green edge and green corner are correctly magnetized, it's all going to work out. I don't know why that brings me some kind of peace of mind, but it does. And it's funny, it's such a particular thing, the magnet thing, because it's not taking off the first magnet's not bad. It's getting this magnet off the stick and onto this piece without without magnets flying everywhere and like glue getting everywhere, because the last thing you want is the piece that's already submerged in glue to come flying out of there, because again this glue stays wet pretty long, like a long time. So again, I can go through and I can dab in every green piece, and then go through and drop the magnet in, and then go through and put the last bit of glue in there. It's really good for efficiency, but it takes a little while to dry. So that's where, like, I gotta actually take it and come from behind so the magnet doesn't go flying out, and then I brush it up into the glue, and then that's when right at the last second I'll slide my fingernail in there to separate the magnet from the stick, and sometimes it just works better than others. Oh my gosh, like that one, I don't know why it was so hard. You can literally see, like, that indentation in my thumb and in my my finger. But then, so the glue that's already in there, the magnet slid in there, and it's already been kind of adhered to it, just really lightly. So I just put the smallest amount around the outside, because this is also the glue that's going to swell and foam. The glue from the cubicle, it swells up and foams around the magnet as like a shock absorber, and so you really need less than you think, to be honest. Like what I put in there would probably hold it. One sec. You said, can you see? I can see it. Oh. Small chunk of wood with a V slot and a wood block. Sort of. I like the way you think. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Crazy Cuber. If you, however you've got your subscribers, you're doing good, man. You don't need to, like, people compare themselves to other people way too much. Like, I just do my own thing, man. And I could say the same for most YouTubers that do well. I feel like they just do their own thing. They find what works for them, and that's what works. So if and with good editing, shorts can be done well. Okay, so we have three colors done, at least the edge piece. We have red, blue, and green, where we put a dab of glue, we put our magnet in, we use the stick to put a helper magnet on the outside like this. So now all of these, the red, the blue, and green, are all drying with their edge magnet. Then all we have to do is the other three colors of edge magnets, and then we'll come back, and what we'll do is we'll take this helper magnet off, put it inside the corner piece, and then you'll know it's the same polarity or the right polarity. They'll piece together, and then you have to just let them dry essentially. So I still don't get why they won't let you stream. Is it because are you on like a kids channel? Is that why? Because I know the kids channel, they disable the comments and stuff. Because yeah, I don't quite get why they won't let you stream or anything. And if it's a kids channel, there's nothing I can do for that. So again, I put a small dab of glue on the inside of each edge piece. Then I take one magnet, I drop it in that edge piece. Then from behind, so the magnet doesn't come flying out, you go ahead and line up your magnet stick with your magnet, slide it into place, and now we're going to go ahead and snap that off the stick. And a lot of times it moves out of place, you just got to slide it back into place, and that's where that helper magnet is. That comes in handy. You just slide the helper magnet until the magnet inside can't move anymore, and it's right in the corner. And I will say this, the farther you get into the magnet stick, it starts to hurt less on your finger. I mean, it hurts more because you've been doing it all day, but it starts to kind of hurt less because the fewer magnets on the stick, the less magnetism. Oh, see, like there, I pulled the glued magnet out, which is now going to get all over the place. So we're going to drop that in there. This is where we just got to be quick now because we don't want glue getting on everything. Okay, so we fixed that, we saved it, but that's exactly what I was talking about. The magnet came whoop, slipping out, and the two magnets went together, and now the magnet on the outside, the helper magnet, technically has a little bit of glue on it, which I just wiped off. That's why I took it off for like a quick second and wiped it. Because again, that's what you don't want. You don't want glue to get on that helper magnet. And then when you go to take it off to put it in the corner piece, it's stuck to your edge. Okay, so one thing I didn't do is I just didn't put my last little gob of glue over the top here. Well, that might be some reason why they won't let you stream. You gotta kind of try and make sure you don't offend anyone. That's one thing. Yeah, just like I said, you just gotta be careful not to offend anyone, man, because you gotta realize you're in here with other people, and not everyone is necessarily in that same mind space as you. They might not be angry. They might be here just trying to enjoy their day and get away from life a little bit. And That's like I said, my mission in cubing and whatnot is a very personal one. Like I like having a community of good people that I can share my time with, um, and I think that comes through. Like I said, my giveaways are really because I like to support new cubers getting into cubing. I don't want people to be like, oh, this is too expensive, or I don't have this or that, or have any excuse. If they really want to get into cubing, then all they have to do is enter the giveaway, and eventually you're gonna win. I mean, I'm not that big of a channel. So now we have all of our white pieces in and glued. The blue pieces are, albeit first ones, are already foaming up, so those are doing great. So pretty much by the time you get through to the end of the last color, sorry I'm getting off screen here, but by the time you get through to the last color there, your first ones are pretty much drying, which is really what you want. So we're going to have yellow and orange left. Ruben, you're definitely entered. Absolutely. And yo, Cubed, welcome. Welcome to all of my cubing friends. Because yeah, I was just joking, Crazy Cuber, about the giveaway. I was just giving you a hard time because you were asking me about my giveaway. But yeah, like I said, it's just whatever it feels true to you, man. Like I said, I really, when I started, like I said, I wish there was a place where I could come as a new cuber and really bond with other people and like feel like I was getting information and I don't know, getting, not only making friends with other cubers, but also learning how to be better at cubing. I mean, that was my whole goal. And so, like I said, then I realized that like there's a ton of people out there and they just really want to get into this, but they maybe don't know how, or they're intimidated, and I've felt all of those things before because I was a new cuber recently. And so again, that's where like the giveaways came from for me. I was like, well, I want to encourage more people. Yeah, him and I are both friends with Jacob Noakes. He's a buddy. I was just in there for about like 5 minutes to say hi. I honestly don't spend a lot of time. It's funny. I feel like the more you do YouTube, the less you spend on YouTube. Like I used to spend so much more time watching videos, and the more I make and make and make, I just feel like I spend less and less time sitting there and watching more videos. That whole burnout thing it's real. I mean, I'm not big enough to even be anyone complaining about that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying, like, you can get burnt out a little pretty easy if you let yourself. I watched the funniest video. This is actually a video I did watch. Was a new update about JPerm. That was interesting, and pretty much they just said he's legitimately just a full-time Mario Kart player, which that's his prerogative. I mean, he gets so many views just playing Mario Kart, it's unreal. I mean, he gets a million times more views than I get for doing this than just for playing Mario Kart, so you kind of can't blame him. Okay, one color left. Woo! Woo! I mean, I don't talk to Junior on a daily basis or anything. I mean, you could probably make. Oh, I don't know if you can't comment, then yeah, I can tell him. I forgot if you can't do comments. Oh, so sorry. Ooh, I'm so close. What's up? Welcome. Good to see you, or good to hear you, read you, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just finishing orange is the last color over here. I'm on my last. I'm inserting the magnets into the edge pieces, and then I will be doing Alright, so I'm putting the glue on our last edge piece. Oh, and I'm out. This one just ran out of glue. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, let's switch syringes here to one with glue in it. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do this one. This one's brand new. So I usually have some left over. Woo! There's glue. Okay, red, blue, green, white, yellow, orange, all done. Do you like cubes with strong magnets? I like them to be softer, if you're asking me. So the winner, I pick a top 10, and then there's a random selector that picks the top 10 from there, so it's as fair as possible. Ruben, what were you asking about again? And then he said, what am I doing? Sorry, I was looking at the magnets. I missed the comments. So the first Meilong I did, I put the strong magnet kit in, and I just felt like it was a little bit, like actually stopped your turn, you know, at every 90 degrees, and I didn't want it to do that. I want it to flow a little better, but still feel that, like, click, click, like, you know, feel the benchmark of the turn, but not have it be stopped. Oh, cool. Let's make sure all of our pieces got covered. Because you can start to see the foam, and this is how you know, like, if I didn't, anyone that I don't see starting to foam up, I'll just put an extra little drop of glue on it, because it will if it's not already. Like, I just want to make sure the magnets are pretty much encapsulated in glue. Yep, these all look good. Okay, and one thing, so yeah, I'm taking the, well, that would be really cool. I have ball core kits coming for WRMs, coming for the YS3M, for the RS cubes. I'd be curious if one of the WRM or the RS cores, because the RS3 is so similar, especially the RS3M V5 is so similar to the Meilong. I would be very curious if the excuse me, if the RS core fit in there. That's something I might actually try. I might just get another Meilong and try it after I ship this one out. Because it's the same like you were suggesting maglev earlier, and I was like, oh, I've trust me, I was all over that. That was one of the first things I tried, and Joseph and I have talked about this quite a bit and whatnot. But Joseph, I'm pretty sure I've re-looked at the size of this, and I'm almost 100% positive that those YJ Square One maglev kits would fit in here. You would just have to essentially, like I said, you'd have to buy 4 kits because they come with 3 magnets in each, and you need 12 magnets. So you have to buy 4 Square One maglev kits because they only have Square Ones only have their one screw and spring essentially on one side, and that's what holds the whole thing together. So again, right now, like as soon as we got to the orange, the red is pretty much looking like it's not dried, but the foam is starting to create like a layer around it, so it's not going to move. If I take the helper magnet away, oh, but yeah, so I'm gonna give it just like a second to relax and dry. But really, my point is that by the time we got to this one, these ones are now ready to work on, and by the time we go through them, these ones are going to be ready by the time we get to them. So you can pretty much have a pretty consistent workflow here. That's why I organized them nicely because it keeps it organized in my head for me. But it's not necessary. I mean, it depends on what makes you feel comfortable and yeah. Oh yeah, Crazy Cuber, I just pulled up your page. You do have quite a few subs. That's awesome, man. So what are your what's your main event here, or what are your main events, I should say? Yay! You were on back order, right, Ruben? Yay! That's awesome. I'm someone who can sympathize. I order a lot of stuff, so I know how it is to be like just want things to arrive and be waiting on on things to come. That's always hard. Okay, so I was just giving myself a little mental break here. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and now we can jump into. Okay. So I actually magnetized with the entire, like all the edge pieces. So I'm halfway done essentially. You're going to use twice as much glue as that pretty much. Like I used a half mil. They give you 1.5 mils to do the whole project. And again, I've read a lot of reviews. People said they didn't get enough glue, and I used a third of the glue to do half the project, and that was on an old like a used one of these that I had left over. I had 2 half mils because again I only use a mil, and they send you 1.5 mils in each one, so I had 2 half mils left over, and I'm almost going to be able to do my entire project without even opening my new glue, which just shows you they give you plenty of glue. You just need to know how to use it, like putting a little bit on the side before you put the magnet in, and then just covering the outside with a little bit, and again then the glue will expand from there, so you really need very little. Yeah, this is for the giveaway right here, so we're just making sure to get our magnets in so that way it'll be nice and magnetized, and then tomorrow I'll get on the UV coating over all of these stickers and everything, and yeah, it'll be done hopefully pretty soon. Like I said, I couldn't get it done in the quality that I wanted before, before today. Essentially, it needed to be done today, and that just wasn't going to happen. So, if I would have received the parts a little earlier, it would have worked. But I was at the mercy of the mail. Okay, so now all we do, this is where like the first part is really the hardest because the magnets aren't glued in yet. Everything's moving around. It's really like it's kind of stressful. Where now you have one magnet glued into each edge piece, and you can literally take the helper magnet off now. So I have the helper magnet in my hand. The magnet is glued. You can see a little metal piece in this side over here. So everything's kind of mirrored. But like, so that's stuck in place. And what you just want to know is that it's not going to come flying out of there. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the exact same thing as I did before. Is I'm going to do a little dab of glue on the inside of the edge or the corner piece. Come on, glue. So we just put the littlest dab of glue. Then we're going to drop our magnet in there. And what we're going to do is, again, coming from behind, because you don't want it to fly out of there, you're just going to line them up exactly as you want them to be. And then set them on something flat. Again, make sure they're lined up just flush and even. And then go ahead and take your glue and put one last dab of glue on that magnet. So that's where, in my opinion, once you get through the edges, it becomes a lot easier. Because this part, like I said, you just pretty much on cruise control. I feel like at this point, we're gonna glue a little bit in each corner piece to give it something to stick to when it falls in there. And then we're gonna pull back on the syringe to pull it back. And now we have glue in each corner piece. We're just going to pull the edge magnet, or the helper magnet, sorry, off. Drop it into your corner piece. Bring the edge piece in from behind. They magnetize, the polarity will always magnetize to each other. Now set it down flush. Put just a dab of glue on the top edge of the magnet, because also it's being this liquid, it's going to kind of drip down over the magnet. So if you put your gob right at the top, it should kind of like drip down over it and like again encapsulate it instead of just like So you can see these are all together now, and they'll stay together until the glue's dried, because you want those pieces perfectly flush together. And I pull back a little bit on the syringe each time, because it just feels like with the glue starts just kind of like spilling out if I leave it coming out of the tip, and then there's a big gob on there that feels like I've wasted a bunch of glue. Where if you just suck it back in just a little bit and make sure that you don't waste it. Yeah, Phil's a good dude. Very honest, straightforward. I appreciate that about people. I think Crazy Cuber left, just to be honest. I think he said he was going to do a live stream or something. Yeah, I mean, I have both the ball core version and the non-magnetic core version of the VinCube, and I still don't like it that much. Um, but you gotta also remember, like, it's it's very much like an MGC, and a lot of people, not everyone's an MGC fan. Like, I never liked the MGCs; they were too big, and I have big hands too. I've always been a big Aosu fan. That's why I got the core magnetization kit for it. Why? Oh, well then there you go. So, I mean, for me, like I said, it's more about the size. They're different on the internals. Don't get me wrong. The internals of the cube they have been adjusted. Um, if you actually take the cube apart and look at the internals, there's little differences in the midges and the different piece design and whatnot, but it's very subtle. What happened again? Regular VIN better. Who does? Oh, Caius Young. Well, I mean, that's nice and all, but that's that's not the point. I mean, I already have them and I already use them. Like, just because someone else says that they like them doesn't mean that like I'm gonna change what I like. Like that, you got to think for yourself, to be honest. Like, I watch as much videos as I can, and I give objective opinions. That's why I'm like, these are my opinions based off of the performance I've felt. Like, and the core mag version is better. I just, like I said, for me, I like a smaller 4x4. And they did not change anything about the size, which I was very sad about. If they would have made it just 1 millimeter smaller, they would have crushed the MGC, in my opinion. Because it would have been smaller, lighter, better turning, had so many things, but just that large size. I mean, I'll cube on that, and then I'll go cube on just any other 4x4 that's smaller. Like I have the mini, you know, I have a bunch of others, but and they always turn better. I mean, that VinCube is literally the size of my Hong. It's like barely smaller, and that's just a little too big for me at that point. I like a 60 millimeter 5x5 a lot. Yeah, it's funny, Ruben. I kind of feel the same way. Like people, they're doing a lot of advertising for the GAN 5x5, and I don't know. Like I've watched a lot of those videos too, where they talk about the Hong being trash, and I'm like, I don't think that cube is trash. I like that cube, and if the GAN is great, I will say so, but I don't think that one is trash and one is great. I think that it just depends again on your preference. Like again, I think the GAN's going to be a bigger size. So like for me, I don't think that's going to be a big benefit to you get the GAN, because I think it's going to be big. Um, yeah, I've seen all the advertisements. Those are essentially advertisements. Those are prototypes they've given to professional cubers that already get good times, and they're like, okay, get a good time with my cube, please. So again, you gotta always take those with a grain of salt, because I'm sure like they'll send one to Timon or whatever, and he'll get a crazy time. But that's also because he's Timon Koloshinsky. I don't know that it's necessarily because it's a GAN 5x5. Yeah, no, I'm making the same point. I'm saying like if you watch the same videos that say that the GAN is so great, they'll also in the same breath say that the Hong was trash. So that's why I'm saying like you know the Hong's not trash. So you have to, like I said, you just have to take their opinions with a grain of salt, because they're trying to sell the cube. I mean that is, they're absolutely, you know, that's what, like, being sponsored by a company, it's kind of your job at that point to like represent their products. And if it's GAN, you know they're going to want you to make their product look good. I mean, they're not giving out products for free and spending all this money so they can look bad, you know, like exactly, yeah, like any like perfect example, like Jacob across the street, he's a great 5x5 solver, like 42 seconds. He'll get that on the Hong, he'll get that on a Meilong 5x5. Like, it's not the cube, like, it's the solver at that point. But it also, I'm not saying the cube's not good. The cube will probably be great. I'm just saying that, like, it's again, it's just you got to take it for what it is all. Because I just remember when I started cubing, if I saw someone get a great time like that, I'd be like, well, shoot, I need that cube then. And then I just over time realized, like, well, there's no promise that says that because I have that cube that I'm gonna get those times. That's my whole thing. Is like, and here's a little tip for anyone that ever uses an oral syringe like this for anything. If you have an air bubble in there, it's gonna mess with the pressure. So like after you push some glue out, it's gonna just continue to keep pumping out because there's an air pressure bubble in there. So if you get rid of any of the bubbles in here, it will stop just like gushing out the end after you use a little bit. That's just a little trick. I think that's another way that glue gets wasted. I think that people don't realize, but there's like probably glue just like spilling out the end. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ruben. Seriously, like people put so much, into the cube, and it's just like, I mean, even with 3x3, it's like I get some okay times on my new expensive nice 3x3s, but it hasn't made me like world class just because I bought an expensive cube. Um, and that's all I was saying, is that like I'm sure the GAN 5x5 is going to be great. I just was saying like it's not necessarily going to make you have fast times. I'm also just skeptical because I was one of the people who bought the GAN 4x4. I bought the GAN 460, and that thing was kind of trash. So I'm just kind of waiting to see. I mean, if it's great, I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm not a hater by any means. So GAN's just been a little hit or miss, and they're always expensive. That's the hard part. Is like it's not like they're a little bit hit or miss, but they're also affordable. But like they're expensive, and so if you're gonna charge everyone top dollar, you better be putting out some good puzzles. Like at least you'd hope so. Right? See? That's what I mean. Like, and I bet you even when that one came out, they had some videos of some great solvers getting good times on them or something. Like. Sorry if I was a little bit like absent there for a minute, not talking. I just was trying to get these all done. I'm kind of getting to the home stretch here where I can finally. Didn't mean to just be like kind of ghosting on you guys here. Yeah, it's crazy because I literally like I started cubing and I got the GAN 356M, and I was like, okay, well GAN is the best. Obviously, they're the most expensive. I was like, well, they must be the best, right? So I went on and I ordered their 2x2, which was good. I got the 251 Leap. That was great. And then I went on and ordered the 4x4 because I was like, well, if the 2x2 and 3x3 were great, the 4x4 must be good. And that's where I found out not every cube is a winner. So but I have not stopped loving GAN. I still got the GAN 13. I bought the GAN 12. Bought the GAN 12 UI. Um, I bought the GAN 11 or Mini or whatever, the Mini M Pro. I'm a big GAN lover, so don't get it wrong. I just am skeptical sometimes when there's that much advertising. Like they've done a lot of advertising. Plus, I don't know if you saw my last live stream, but I got an email from one of the other cubers on here just listing off all the new GAN products they're going to do, and they're going to do like a square one. They're going to do like, it was a long list of new products that I was very surprised to see. So if they're going to put all those cubes out, hopefully they come out nice. Again, I'm not just going to wait and see, and hopefully they come out really good, because that would be awesome. Okay, so we're essentially done with the glue process now. Let me read some of these, just so, sorry I've been... Yeah, so you don't have to be rich to order cubes. That has nothing to do with it. Once you get older and you realize when you have a job and stuff, it's not, you don't need to be rich. Yeah, it has nothing to do with money, honestly. I mean, you have to have some money to buy it, but that's kind of like the whole reason I do the giveaways, is that way people, even people that don't have money, can get into cubing. Like that's like the whole point. Only bad mo That's so funny, because that's those are the only two. So Infinity Blaze, the RS3MV2 and the Super Weilong are literally the only two Moyu cubes I didn't order. I think that's so funny. I would totally agree, and I don't have them, so I can't say for sure, but I would say that, like, I am fine not having those cubes. I have the 20 Magnet V9. Um, Except unless you have the GAN 460. That's what I was saying. The GAN 460 was the only flop. And I mean, that, again, that's all opinion. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like the 14. I mean, why do you think they're making the 14 Pro? You think they were planning to do that? They're making that because they had so many issues with the 14. That's what I mean. Like, all of this, it's subjective. This GAN is great. That's why I said, like, I really hope, I'm expecting big things from them. That's why I'm kind of like skeptical, because they've put out some good ones, some bad ones, and I'm just like, yo, E-cubing, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, like, this cube is great. Like I said, it's just that one 4x4. That one just sullied the reputation just a little bit. Oh, awesome. You want to email it to me if you can? I don't go on Discord much. So, E-cubing, we're doing our mod for our giveaway cube. I am magnetizing our Meilong right now. I just got done, so you can see there's an edge and corner piece put together of each color. You can see it goes over. Yeah, what we're just trying to get everything magnetized today, and then tomorrow I'll go ahead and finish our UV coating process. And from there, we will be doing. And then obviously I'll lube it up and everything, and get it all. So yeah, I used these two old syringes were like 0.4 or 0.5. I used those, and I used 0.2 mils of this new one. So I have 1.3 left in here. So I used about 1 mil. It's almost exactly 1 mil to glue the entire cube, essentially. Because now we have glue on the inside and outside, like on between the plastic and the magnet, and on the outside of the magnet. So we have one that. Nice. Yeah, I was just cubing on my RSM 2020 yesterday in the stream, actually. Like I said, it's crazy if you compare the YS3M and the RCM 2020. Like from the outside, they look identical. The internal pieces are absolutely different, but it's just crazy how much, like, even the center caps are like almost interchangeable. It's crazy. Hey, mine's the Weilong, the V9 SC also. I literally have it right here. Here's the SpeedCube shop logo. This is by far definitely my main. I have the 20 magnet core, and I have the RCM V5 is like my backup main. Same with the 20 magnet V9, but the SC is my sweet spot. I have 2 or 3 of these now. What do I average? So I average in like the 20s, like 25, and my PP is like a 14.4. Let's say I wish I practiced more. I need to. This is what I was saying. Like, it's easy to get burnt out between practicing, doing the YouTube, doing all that stuff. Like, that's why I try to do fun stuff like this, because this is fun to me. Like, yeah, I just like the SpeedCube one. It's like simple, but it also, like, I'm a math nerd, so like in science nerd, so it's like in it that's a math symbol obviously. So it just is kind of cool to me. And it's different than just the regular MoU. Oh yeah, sorry. Which cube were you asking about? What's up, Anthony? We're magnetizing our giveaway cube at the moment. We just got through magnetizing the pieces. We have our edge and corners sitting and drying and curing right now. Yes, Anthony is something special for sure. And I hate how the tips from these glue things get gobbed up with glue, and you can only use them like once. Let me get a little pin to poke through that. Yeah, I found if you just take like a needle, like a sewing needle or something, like once these have dried, especially once they've dried, this one's like a gob of glue started coming out, but you can stick it up in there and it'll get most of your glue out if you want to reuse them. Like I said, I know a lot of people, they use up all the glue, so they don't need to reuse these. You can also use your lube tips, but you just want to make sure you clean the lube out first, because you're gonna have a problem getting your Anthony, you're a humble man. Yeah, I've heard like Juliet uses the V5 too, right? I think almost every one-handed solver I know uses the V5 for some reason. Not not every one, but everyone I know. Man, Anthony, I was looking into some of the coding stuff we were talking about, and I wish we could do like a powder coat on a cube. That'd be so cool. But you takes extreme heat to do it, and you'd melt the whole thing. But that would just be so interesting. I used to do powder coating in a machine shop, and it's very very interesting. Yeah, the V5 is my backup main for two-hand, and I don't do OH, so I can't speak for that, but yeah. V5 is just a great cube. So do you notice a big difference when you buy the premium setup ones as opposed to just setting it up yourself? Because I just have a hard time paying someone to lube or set up my cube for me. It's not that I'm like too good or anything for it. It seems like I'm like, well, I could do that. That's why I'm curious, like how good they do and like how good it comes out, if it's really worth the money and everything. I'm guessing it is, or else people wouldn't do it. Jeez, that's expensive. What? All right, E-cubing. Well, good to see you, man. Oh. Oh, no worries, man. You're always welcome back anytime. We're always glad to have you. You know that. I feel I have glue on my fingers. I almost don't want to touch this. I just wiped them off too, and I still feel gluey. Yeah, hey, that's funny. I have a package coming from PieCube Shop. It's got, God, I have a ton of stuff coming too. I ordered like 3 orders from them, and I should have done them in one order, but like, I ended up finding more stuff that I wanted and more stuff that I wanted. Let's see. I was just curious to look at when my package is supposed to be here. Alright, let's see. My orders. I love how it just says shipped at first. It's like, well, that's nice. Alright, tracking. Sent to United States on April 6th at 1:30 in the morning. So mine is somewhere between China and the United States right now in the ocean, crossing the ocean. Yeah, everyone that I've talked to about OH, they said just start spamming like R and U moves and like just get comfortable with, doing one hand, like. And that's like, ever since they told me that, I've just been like, okay, that I can do. So anytime I'm just sitting there just not doing anything, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna practice OH. Definitely not good at it yet, but you should have seen when I first started. My gosh, I could barely even like turn the layers. Oh my gosh, Joseph, so did I. I mean, the YS320 magnet, I honestly could have done without. It feels great, but I don't think it's better than the ball core UV, the regular one. It's so hard. Because I do main right now the VinCube. I just wish it was a little smaller. It's again, it's not that I have anything against the VinCube. I just wish it was a tidbit smaller. Like I said, if they made it 1 millimeter smaller, it'd be so perfect. That's cool. I mean, can't you can check his records, can't you? I don't know how much OH he does anymore. Like last few times I've seen him, I have not seen him do any OH. But doesn't mean that he can't. But I would imagine you're probably faster. You're fast, Anthony. Yeah, like I said, I ordered the core magnetization kit for the Aosu because I would really like to feel just, some other options. That's why I was saying, like, I like. Okay, nice. You beat him, sweet. But yeah, like I just would like to see also what else is out there. Like, there's been so few developments in 4x4. Like, it's just think about it. The VinCube, I mean, as much as it's different than the MGC, it's a very much similar to the MGC. I mean, as far as, I mean, they could have made a whole new cube where it's very, very similar. Again, there's internal parts that are different. That's why I ordered the core mag kit for the Aosu, because a little bit smaller and a little bit more like dense and blocky feeling, but it might just be that sweet spot. So, yeah, we'll just see. Like I said, I just want to try a bunch of different ones. Like I said, that's even why I got the Qi M Pro 4x4. I didn't think it was gonna be the winner by any means, but there have been so few options out there. I was like, well, let's try it. I mean, I was literally about to get the Solar UV, the Diansheng Solar UV version, just to try it out, because there's been so few options. Jacob Noakes is who we're talking about. He's a world-class like big cube solver. He does a few other events also, and he's my neighbor. Is why we bring him up. I live right across the street from him. Okay. Should have set a timer for when I actually finished. And I don't think this camera is going to pick it up well, but like you can barely even see the magnet in there. But like again, the reason I like this glue, and certain Gorilla Glues do the same thing. They will foam up, and again, it creates like a foamy, like a shock absorbent layer around the magnet, and that's really the only reason I like it. You can see it takes a lot longer to dry. Like this, we've been doing this for 1 hour and 45 minutes now, and I mean, obviously I didn't finish 1 hour and 45 minutes ago, so it hasn't been drying that long. But since I started the first piece, it's been about 1 hour and a half, and that one is probably dry. The very first ones I did, but the ones that I ended up with are definitely not. So I have Rubik's cubes, like the Rubik's brand. I don't know. I've never heard a good thing. I've never heard very, very good things, at least, about the Rubik's SpeedCubes. I almost bought one. I saw one in a store and I was so tempted, but I did not get it. I know that Gan, made one with Rubik's, and I was kind of tempted just to see how that one felt, but everyone said it was just okay. Yeah, it just shows it's not the cube. It definitely is the cuber. I mean, the cube helps. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely about execution and everything, because I have nice cubes and it doesn't make me faster than Jacob or anything But yeah, Anthony, have you? I looked up. I looked up the polymer that you were asking about. I just was curious. Have you looked up any others? Just out of fun. I did a lot of research into this, just looking up different, but like a lot of them take a lot of heat is the problem. Like most polymer coatings take a lot of heat, and I think that's probably why that one is going to work differently and is very specific. Average 40. Nice, dude. That's awesome. And again, that's efficient cube solving. Like, again, I just like I haven't broken that 1 minute barrier yet, and I know it's just because like there's just even in your edge pairing, like when you even get to your 3-2-3 section, like you like even just setting up that first 3-2-3 like set and then realigning it and making your first three edge pairs, like how you reset up the next ones is huge in like your efficiency. If you just like, I have a problem where I get those ones done and then I start working kind of on singular things, and I need to like be really, if you just can do it in like 2 sets, you can pretty much solve all of the edges in like 2 sets. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I looked that one up too. I was just curious if you had ever looked up any other ones for fun. I had some fun researching this. Like I said, I've powder coated a lot of things in my life, and I came across that on YouTube or on Google, and I was like, interesting. But then it was like a 3 or 4 or 500 degree like temperature you needed to melt the powder, and I was like, well, that definitely won't work. But like it'd be just so interesting to see a powder coated cube. Like, so there's some cool things I was like, whoa, I wish I could do this. And I wonder if like there's a way with like, I don't know, with chemicals instead of heat to like just melt the outside layer. Like, I don't know, I'm someone that likes to create experiments, so. So just like free slice, is that what you mean by doing like five style edges? Because that's what I used to do, and then I just. I mean, there's the metallic ones. There are some metal ones. Move my heater closer. I'm cold. Oh. Oh man, that's much better. Get this heater going by me. Yeah, it's freaking cold in Colorado. Oh, you mean for a metal cube? Yeah, if it was 100%, so I think they do like the outside in metal and the internals in plastic, which that would be the problem because then the internals would, right? Heavy metal cubing. I love that. If it's 100% carbon fiber, then that would possibly work. Let me look up like fully metal cubes. Let's see. Completely metal cube. Interesting. So there's a electroplated YZ electroplated metal alloy. Interesting. These, I wonder what the internals are like. Like, or did they just already take all the fun out of it and do the part that we're dun dun dun. Yeah, I have to look into these electroplated. These are interesting. Pretty cool. uh, there's all that is the thing about the cubing community. All different ages, everything, all different types, all different everything. Gotta love it though. So Anthony, sorry, I don't know if you caught my question. So for 5 style edges, when you say for 4x4, do you mean just like free slicing? Because sometimes I honestly could believe that, like, because sometimes being constricted to like, is it lagging? I'm in the hood and I'm robbing 4, 5, 6. Because of this. Is that any better? Yo, 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 yo. What's up? Everett. Okay. Sweet. Sorry about that. you gotta also remember I'm out in the mountains, so there always could be the chance that like the internet's lagging over the mountains or whatever. No, so you solve 4 into the top, then you do R U R T. So, but I'm asking, so for those 4 that you solve into the top, are you doing that like free slicing, or are you still 3-2-3ing that? Because when you say you're not doing it like a 4x4, I'm just asking, how are you making those pairs, or those, yeah, the edge pairs? And do you do Yao, Anthony? Are you putting your white cross on bottom? Because that's one of the only reason I even do that is because I feel like for the same reason it lets you look like, again, if you can get the top and kind of like back or whatever. um, yeah, yeah, that's why like I said, every polymer thing I looked at involved heat. That's why I was like, what were you having in mind? Because like I said, pretty much everything I had looked, and 65 Celsius is pretty hot. Okay. Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna try that. Seriously, thank you for the tip. I really will try that. And again, I always ask questions just because I'm trying to educate myself. I'm not like trying to pick apart what you're, doing. I appreciate it. Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny because I at first didn't like Yao, but I do like how it pretty much finishes your bottom, so there's no looking for pieces down there like you said, for look ahead and for seeing what's going on the cube. I think that's the smartest way to do it. That's why I really like that plan there, that strategy you have there. Still learning CFOB, and that's okay. I'll be doing more. So I've been so busy. I apologize, you guys. I'm in the middle of a move, and I've just been so busy where I haven't been uploading the content that like I've been wanting to. But started a Bridging the Gap series where I introduced the beginner method and introduced CFOP, and then I started to take people on the journey of moving from the beginner method into learning your PLLs, your OLLs, and like where to start and how to use them. So if you are learning CFOP, I have that video started. So if you want to know, it's like some good algs to learn, some good places to start and whatnot. That's a great video, but I'm gonna continue that series. So just keep an eye out for the Bridging the Gap series, because that's gonna be all about getting from that beginner state to advanced solving, and again, making it in manageable workloads so you're not so overwhelmed, like looking at, okay, I got to learn all the PLLs and all the OLLs, let's go. Like, it kind of breaks into like sections, so you don't get burnt out, you enjoy, and you see your progress, and you continue to keep pushing yourself. And I don't know, it made it fun for me. Like, this is the way I did it, and I learned in stages, but I got my PLLs all learned, and now I feel so much better about that. I got, my OLLs, I'm most of the way through it, and I'm feeling good about that. And again, it's taken time, but it's also, I haven't gotten burnt out. And that's where I'm trying to like make sure people don't just like, be like, oh, this is too much work, I quit. Like, Yeah, that's why I say just make sure to split it up into like I said, manageable workloads. Like learn like what I do, and I'll give you some of the tips from my video right now. Is like make a list of your PLLs, and like as you might not even like you might not recognize them right away or whatever, but take the time. Like don't do timed solves necessarily always, and like you know, when you say you get to like your OLL stage, like make a list and mark down like which OLLs you seem to get frequently. Same with your PLLs. Like when I started solving, I got a lot of the same PLLs, and you can turn a lot of your PLLs into a UPerm while you're getting while you're learning to do that. But like this was a great point that I learned. I was just watching a JPerm video, and he had a great quote, and it was if the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail. And what that means is that like if the only tool you have is like a T-perm, so then to turn everything into a U-perm, then you're going to do that, and it might help for a while, but you also and that's fine to do, but you want to make sure you're also continuing to learn, so you don't just have that one tool to use. You want to have all the tools in your bag, so you can when you attack any PLO, anything, you can have the knowledge base and the skill set to do it. Hey Joseph, I swear you're gonna. I hope you get the sub too when you're on the stream, because I want to be there for that. Um, but yeah, that's just my own personal thing. Um, like I said, that's just my own philosophy on learning. I was a teacher. I was a music teacher for a long time. I've been taught a lot of different things. I've spent a lot of time in school, and I spent a lot of time with my teachers actually too, because I really thought that like good teachers made all the difference in how you learn. Um, and essentially in cubing, you're your own teacher, and that's why I like having a place where people can come ask questions. I like having a place where people feel free to like voice their concerns or opinions about things. If like they don't understand something, that's totally fine. Like this is where you should come. Um, like I said, I always want people to feel just as comfortable talking about what they don't know as what they do know. Like I celebrate everyone's personal records, your PBs, your times, everything. I'm like the first person to clap for everyone. I just also want everyone to know that you can absolutely come in here and ask questions, and even if I don't have the answers, someone else most likely will. So yeah, again, I was a new cuber just a couple of years ago, and I know what that's like to feel like I don't know what to do, or I don't have anyone to ask, or I guess I'll watch this YouTube video for the 40th time, and hopefully I can pull the information out that I need. Or yeah, I was a grinder when it first started, so I still try to really like put the information out there. But yeah, definitely don't stop, because it's something where as you like PLO was frustrating a little bit at first, but like once you get them down and you get that muscle memory, they just happen. Like all of a sudden you're gonna see your PLL, and you're gonna get better at recognizing it from any orientation. The top layer, you're not gonna have to line it up, and then you can just execute it, and that's just one of those things where you keep practicing, and it's gonna happen faster than you think. um, yeah, Stukely, that's a cool username. But yeah, I definitely hope that you keep going with it. Again, that's the whole reason I do the giveaways. Hopefully I can inspire people to keep cubing, whether it's someone that just started or someone that maybe is. Heck yeah. I love that you're also looking into this, because I feel like I have a cool like person to bounce ideas back and forth off of. Um, I believe that's his 3x3, but he's also, I believe he's newer. But don't quote me. I don't want to speak for anyone else. So I will research that too, the molecular weight part, and see if I can find any other caveats or exceptions to this where it'll even bring our temperature down further, if there's any other like combinations of molecules or anything. Yeah, I will. Like I said, I've been researching it like very much, so it's very interesting to me, because anything new, like this was a new idea you threw at me, and I love that. So I will give it. I'm giving it my full attention here. Like I said, I apologize too because I'm moving. It's rough. Like just trying to spend as much time, you know, here with family and stuff before I leave the state. It's all a lot. But yeah, no, absolutely. No, I didn't think you were judging or anything, Ruben. Trust me. Yeah, I felt like it was just an inquisitive answer or question. Yu Du, yeah, I mean, very like very cool. Very cool that he designed a cube. I like. Right? That's so funny. Adult adult things. I love that. That's what I was trying to say earlier when someone was like, "Are you rich?" to another kid. I was like, once you get a little older, you realize you don't have to be rich. You just have to be responsible with your money. But I move towards the end of the month. Um, I have work out in a lab out in California. They hired me to move out there, so yeah, I was. Sorry, I didn't want to speak for you, Joseph, but that's what I was kind of hinting at. So I like it. I just don't know that it was completely necessary, Echo. To answer your question about the YS3M20 mag, like it feels it did what it did for the WRM, which is it sped it up a whole lot. I mean, it feels really fast, but I don't know that there was anything wrong with the feeling of the ball core UV version. But yeah, I don't know that the YS3M20 mag was 100% necessary. I feel like on the WRM, this is this SE, this is not the 20 mag, but on the WRM V9 20 mag, it's very smooth, and because it's not blocky, man, that thing, it feels like it's effortless to turn. Where that I feel like probably had a you know, a practical application. It made it very, I mean, it literally feels like you putting no effort into turning the layers. Where the YS3, it feels like that, but it still feels a little blocky, and I don't know that it did anything to improve the performance. Like I said, I felt my original, sorry, my YS3M Ball Core UV, and it felt great. I was like, I don't know that I like the new one even better. So I think it's a good cube. I just don't know that it's absolutely necessary. I would honestly recommend the 20 magnet WRM V9 before I would recommend the YS3. Um, and again, the 20 magnet WRM is going to be kind of like the Super Waylong minus the adjustable magnets, which that would be more, I think, the route to go. But that's my personal opinion, obviously. I think he said he mained the VIN as well. And it does, the ball core or magnetic core VIN cube does feel more stable. And it's barely heavier because I weighed them side by side. It is. You can feel it. And that's why I say like the original VIN cube was a lot like the MGC, but once you get the core magnetic core version, it definitely is different. Um, Uh, they don't. I haven't seen the cores by themselves. They have the core magnetized cube, but I have not seen them actually sell the core itself. To be honest. Um, God, this cube almost feels slow compared to that 20 magnet core version. But this is still my sweet spot. The 156, he broke the 2 minutes. Yeah. So Infinity, just curious. I'm like really, I want to help if I can. How far into like learning OLL or PLL have you begun to do that at all? No, not yet. Since the giveaway got extended, I haven't done it yet. Just because there could be, you know, more editions and whatnot. But you guys know how it works. It's the people that are around and participate and whatnot. And so, it's to be fair, it's a lot of times the people in these chat rooms, because you guys are the people that I know show up for the channel. Oh, nice. You know, full OLL, PLL, however, you don't know PLL. So wow, you know all of OLL and PLL on 3x3, but you don't know PLL parity. That's funny. I was just going through like all the different PLL or parity algs last night. I wanted to learn them all. I know like there's a couple, and there's some that are better than others. Like the it's like the R wide U2, and the X move, like that's my favorite parity alg for sure. And then there's always the one that's like, it's like a small R prime, like it's just this on a 4x4 would be like the inner, you just move the inner layer, then you do, it's a weird alg. You know. Yeah. And I really try, like I said, I'm try not to make it a biased choice. Like as much as I would just pick someone, I try to, like I said, use the random selector. So it's, again, that's why I pick the top 10. That way it's like some influence, and then from there it's random. That way, you know, I'm not just picking whoever, like, because you know, humans can be influenced. That's the thing. Is like, I'm sure you know, I would like to give everyone a cube, to be honest. That's why it's really hard, and it almost makes my job a little easier when I do the randomized draw. And from what I've heard, everyone agrees that that's the fairer way to go about it. So. Alright. I'm so excited we get to put the glue away. Alright. So do you use SpeedCube DB a lot? And have you ever tried, I'm not recommending this one necessarily, I've only checked it out a little bit, but the Dan's cubing cheat sheet, he has quite a bit on there. He has it organized well. Like if you still like I use two-look OLLs like once in a while. I that's why I was surprised that you know all OLL, because I don't even know all OLL. I'm in the middle of finishing my OLL training, but like he's got tips for two-look. He's got all of one-look. He's got RU. He's got CFOP. He's got he's got a lot of information on there, which I thought was pretty cool. And for the OLL stuff, like he's got cool different names for them. Like a lot of people I've from talking to had a hard time remembering names, and knew them just from the patterns, and he makes interesting names for them. So if that helps. And what's up? Welcome. Good to have you here, man. We're just magnetizing and modding our giveaway cube here. I took the we took our edge pieces and we put a magnet into one side of it. So in this side we have our magnet, and then we have our corresponding corner magnet piece. So these now, and so on this one where I used N48 but 4x2s the first time I did the Meilong giveaway, and this time I used what was it? It's N48 4x1s, so they're going to be half the strength. But I also got like N35 3x1s, N35 4x1s. I got like this was what I was trying to wait for from PyCube Shop, is I got a ton of magnets. So I'm going to be trying them out in a bunch of different cubes, but I used the heavy magnet, or the strong magnet kit from Cubicle when I did my first giveaway from the Meilong magnetization deal, and then I used the light set in the 2x2, but you double up the magnets on a 2x2 because you have to use both polarities, so they ended up feeling almost identical, and even though I used lighter magnets, it still doubled up on me. So I think this cube's going to come out feeling amazing, because like if you check out the RS3MV5, like that does not have very strong magnets. It's pretty flowy, it's fast and whatnot, and I just feel like I can get this cube feeling very similar to that with the right magnets and the right setup. Hey, congratulations, man. I'll give you a bunch of celebration things. Is it just OLL parity? I thought you didn't know. You said I don't know PLL parity and OLL parity special algs. Or do you just know like the standard one but not the special ones? So I was gonna say I'm really surprised that you know all of OLO and PLO but not know the parities, because those are just one alg compared to like, what is it, 21 and 42 or so, I forget however many OLs there are. I have felt one. I've like cubed on one before. I haven't bought one, but I know, again, lighter magnets for sure. They're not like click click click. They're definitely not like overly strong. Okay, so I wish this camera was better. It's just frustrating that you can't see this. Like, oh, let me see if my light helps. Oh, it actually does. So you can see that, like, all the white around the magnet, that's all that foam I was talking about. So, like, interesting. But yeah, you can really see, like, if you missed a magnet, you would tell, because there's a foam that kind of like grows around the magnet. Yeah, that's kind of a good sign, Joseph, that they're probably right. Is like if they're sometimes feel a little heavy, sometimes feel a little weak, then you're probably right in that sweet spot. Cool. Yeah, no, I was just got you. Yeah, and that's funny because that was the same way I was for so long, and that's why I was saying like last night I was literally going through all the parody algs because it's so weird. I swear, like the stuff that you guys bring up is literally like usually what I'm working on and stuff. It's such a weird coincidence, but like I was literally just watching all the OLO parody like videos I could find last night and trying to drill all the algs. That is so funny. So do you do like what is it like R, a small r prime, U2, and then L prime, like small L prime, F2, um, L, like small L prime, um, F2. Is that the one? Because like that was the basic one that I first learned. They're pretty much dry. There was like a one piece that I picked up here that was like weirdly kind of wet, so I was just like, but these are all pretty much dry. Like there's a tiny bit of tack to it, but like once that foam starts, you're essentially good. I mean, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna like. They're not like you can't. There's not even a smell to it, so it's not putting off like fumes, or it's gonna like if you put it together, it's gonna like melt the plastic or something. Because that was my first concern when I was like, oh, well, do I need to make sure they're fully dry? You need to make sure they're not moving. Essentially, like if I go to touch them, they're not gonna move or anything. They're pretty well in there. And I think these were the ones that had a little bit of wetness on them, or ones I went back to and like added some at the last minute. So I think that like the base of it's all dry. I just think that hey, he's getting faster right before our eyes. Um, so like again, when probably like an hour honestly, like because from the time I first glued these to the time I got to the end, it probably took me like almost an hour to get through it. And like these were just starting to dry up as I finished those, so I could start doing the edge ones because the corner ones because the edge piece had dried. And then by the time I got to the end, again now that this corner started to be dry and this one had a little time left, but now that I've been sitting here kind of talking for a bit, they're all pretty much ready to go. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start reassembling pieces here. A lot of people say like you can just leave it overnight, like if you're really, um, dude, congratulations. Sometimes that's how it feels though. Sometimes it feels like you're not doing well, and then but you somehow you get great times. That happens to me all the time. Like when I'm traveling or on the airplane, I'll be solving and I'm like, oh, that was a throwaway time, and I'll look down and it was great, and I'm like, what? How did that even happen? I felt like I was so sloppy. I felt like I had catches, like especially when you're doing other things, like solving on camera for me. I get a little nervous sometimes, and I'm like, I get less perfect and. But yet sometimes I'll get some good times. It's weird how that works. You're so funny, Infinity. I think you've talked about the VinCube core magnetic cube like 100,000 times. so that is that's so that was the second parody alg that I learned. That one, that's the one I feel like you should use. I know there's more, but like that's at least better. I can tell you a worse one than that. I'll tell you that. Um, yeah, that I think that's what everyone uses for the PLO parody. To be honest, at least I've never really seen a different one. It's just the double flick of the right inner layer. spin the U2, and then double flick that same layer again, then do a U wide, double flick the same layer again, U wide. Yeah, that's the same PL up here. I think like most 4x4 solve. But like I said, for some reason OLL has at least like 2 or 3 of them. Oh, that's funny. Even just since I looked at it last, this has started foaming up more. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the faster you can fix your parity, the faster it's out of the way, that's for sure. Here, I'm gonna grab a 4x4 just so we can keep talking about that. Oh my gosh, I feel so silly. No wonder it's been so cold. I had the back door open with the screen closed, so there's just cold air blowing in the back door, and I got the heater going right here. I feel like a dodo. And I was just giving you a hard time, Infinity. You brag about, you can talk, you know, if that cube makes you happy, talk about it all you want. I was just giving you a hard time. So yeah, I got the Qi EM Pro. Like I was saying, I almost just grabbed that one just for fun, and yeah, I didn't like the Qi 4x4s. It's funny, someone was just in here. I think it was a girl that was in here talking about the X-Man Ambition, and she was saying, now I'm eating Reese's. Hey, are you gonna share your Reese's with everyone? I want some Reese's. But there was a girl in here talking about how good the X-Man Ambition was. So that was another thing I did some research on last night, because like I said, I love the VinCube. I love my core magnetized one and everything. I'm excited to magnetize my Aosu core. But I'm still always looking for like the next best thing. And she was like, "Oh, the Ambition is the best." And what got me to do that research is the size. Remember I told you I like smaller puzzles, and the Ambition is a bit smaller size, but it did not get good reviews. I watched quite a few people talk about it, and they did. Has anyone in here tried it? I would love to hear your guys' opinions on it, because that's one that I have not tried, and it just. The reason I ask is because the Hong, I do like the Hong, and that's from X-Man Designs, so it's not that they can't make a good cube. I just have never tried. Hey, stop bragging! I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just curious if anyone else has tried the X-Man Ambition. If not, it's fine. I just was curious. But yeah, so the other 4x4 parody alg, it's like where you go like this. You like, again, instead of doing your R like U2 like you would, and then then doing your X move, all that, you literally just go like dun 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 dun, and that does. So the one you put on, the alg that you put on, it will switch all 4 of those, which is fine. It literally doesn't matter because it's just those 2 that you need switched. But that's really the only difference in the algs, is like this one switches just the 2, the other one switches all 4, but it really makes no difference. So whatever one you can do faster. But that was the one I was trying to describe. It's definitely, I don't think it's as fast. It's just the one that I learned first, so sometimes I feel like I can do it faster than the other one. But the like R2, I like the R wide one just because it's all R wide, L wide, or R prime wide. It's like it's just a bunch of, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of those moves which are really easy to do fast. It's not okay. It's not okay SpeedCube, so no, I don't understand what that means. For the one you showed. Well, if you know that one and you know the other one, then you know most of the parody algs. Well, I'm just saying, you were the one that said you didn't know the special cases, and now you're saying you know the special cases. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I solved Megaminx. I know what ZPLL is. Yeah, I didn't say X-Men was on SpeedCube. I was just asking if anyone uses it. Oh, you guys ready to put this cube back together? Wonder if he deleted him or something. People do that all the time. I don't know what people like, just delete messages. They coming like, I never know what's going on with people anymore. Just like that kid earlier, he said that YouTube won't let him live stream. They won't let him have comments, and then he was like being weird in here, and like I didn't want to be rude, but I could have told him probably why they're not allowing that stuff is because they don't want you to go on live stream just to offend everyone or to talk rude to everyone. Like, it's not a platform to like preach to people. It's about for me at least about having fun, communicating with people, learning. Is it still lagging? I get a moment of lag and then it goes away. Like, I can see when like the little wheels start spinning for a second and it says like I'm overloading the streaming system of it actually. Because it seems like when it does that, it does it for a second, and then again, I'm guessing it's my internet because, like I said, I'm out in the middle of the mountains. We have like the fastest internet possible, but yeah, sometimes it's a little rough. I think there's 4 people in here. It says. What are those? These ones? So do you not know what I'm doing in the video? Because I'll happily explain it. I'm just asking. So these, what I did was I disassembled the entire cube. These are edges and corner pieces. So here, when you magnetize them, you put one magnet in the corner or the side of the edge, and you put the right polarity, like attracting each other, obviously, into the corner piece. So now the corner piece and the edge are magnetized together. So what will happen is I pair the colors together just so I know everything's right. Um, but yeah, I will do all the red together, all the green together, all the blue together. Then I know when I put it back together, everything is in the right place. But Essentially, yeah, now they're magnetized. So if you think about it, when you put this edge piece back together with, say, like a red, it's gonna put a magnet on both sides, because that one's got one on the left and this one's got one on the right. It's like, and so when you flip them and put them together, it's all gonna be magnetized the correct way. And you can even see how these like attract to each other now. It's actually hard to keep them apart. So I was just giving this cubicle glue a little extra time to dry up and everything, because it swells. But I think I'm just going to start putting things back together. So yeah, now we'll essentially just start by taking all of our edge pieces, and this is where it's so simple. You just reassemble them. And so now we have a magnet on both sides. Yeah, the carbon fiber is just stickers. I did a whole, like, you know, I asked the everyone what they thought, because I was going to UV coat over them, or I am going to UV coat over them, and everyone said, they said, go ahead and UV coat over those stickers, so I'm going to do it. Be interesting how they turn out, but yeah, they're just stickers. That's why it should be a problem, because like I said, I had people like, how are you going to do that? And I'm like, well, they're just stickers. Shouldn't be an issue. Because it's just like the carbon fiber 2x2. I mean, like I remember someone didn't like the they didn't like the carbon fiber part because it made it hard to identify the colors, because most of that surface is covered in sticker. So I remember, like, I had them take the carbon fiber stickers off if it helps. But this one, I don't know why, but I don't have a problem on the 3x3. Maybe it's because there's more pieces or whatever. But and like, but like when the 2x2, when you scrambled it up, it was harder to see like which pieces were supposed to go back where. But for some reason on the 3x3, I don't have that issue. I might have just gotten used to it. You know, who knows? So like the first thing I'll do, UV, but then UV will come off of it. Well, no. So to take, if you once I put the UV coating on, you won't be able to take the stickers off. I mean, you can if you want to take the UV coating off. So if you want to just take a little bit of nail polish remover, rub it on the piece that you're trying to take the sticker off. As soon as you just start, it'll kind of make the gel coat, instead of being hard and glassy, it'll start to make it soft, and then you can go ahead and grab that sticker, peel it right off, wipe the gel coat off, and it actually leaves your piece, like the plastic underneath the piece, it looks untouched. Because I have UV coated lots of logos and stickers and whatnot onto my cubes, and I've taken them off for the piece to look brand new underneath, because it was pretty much never touched. It was like hermetically sealed, essentially. And these magnets, so I'm using the light kit from the Cubicle. I ordered a ton of magnets though. These are N48 4x1s. So I used 4x2s in the last one, so they're twice as strong, and it was just a little bit too much. So I'm using the ones half as strong this time, so hopefully they'll be right. But like, I have N35 3x1s and 4x1s. I have the N30, what was it? The RS3 extra magnets. I bought even more magnets from PieCube Shop that are on their way. So I'm going to have a lot of fun playing around with the different magnet strengths. But I think these are going to be good, because these are exactly half as strong as the ones that I put in the last Meilong. And I was not happy with how strong those ones were. A little bit too strong for me. So putting these back together, the easiest way is like, take your yellows and do one of each color. Take your whites and do one of each color on the edges, and then that way you know, like, you're putting it back together correctly. If you have one of each color of each thing, then that's why they don't need to go back with the same piece it came apart with. And like, none of that really matters. It just needs to be one of each color with white, one of each color with yellow, and then obviously the pieces that go together. So like blue and orange. Adjacent colors, I should say. So then we have blue and orange, and I'll kind of just start making piles of, like, all my white edge pieces are here, all my yellows are here. I'll just start organizing them as I go. So let's do like green and orange. Get all of our adjacents done. And then let's do like green and red, blue and red. Oh, so red's a new one. Let's see, blue and red. So really quickly you can see all of our edge pieces going away very fast. This cube's going to come back together really quickly. That's why I was saying, like, once you get through with the gluing part, it's cool. You can just sit. Oh, yeah, dude, sorry, I'm gonna have to kick you out. It's nothing, nothing personal, but why would I read this? Like, that's just being rude. Hold on. Which 2x2? Because they do have the ball cord chi. Okay, so all of I just looked down. I was like, wait, all of our edges are done. Okay, cool. So now we're just gonna put corners back together, and this is where like you could accidentally put like the wrong color in the wrong place, but like you just switch it around. Then if you do that, they come back apart. So we're just gonna start with a blue and white. And one thing I'll say about like the corner pieces, they're all very like they should slide back together really easily. If you're finding to force it, see you later, bud. Again, nothing personal. I just wasn't gonna do anything rude or derogatory on the channel just to entertain anyone. This is supposed to be a safe place here, especially for kids. With kids here, I'm not gonna be doing anything inappropriate like that. That's not cool. Let's see. So we have blue, orange. So like I was saying, these parts should go together pretty easily. If you have to force it, I would check, make sure all the pieces are going together right. You can. Sorry, I keep going out of frame. Let me lift this up just a little bit. Oh, maybe it doesn't want to stay there. But so all these pieces should go back together pretty easily. If you're finding you have to push it, don't force it, because you might have like one little slot in there that's not lined up and it might be about to be broken off. But yeah, I just wanted you to wish the camera would stay right there, but whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna do green, red, yellow. Because like as you can see, there's like these flanges, and one's higher, one's lower, and like one goes on top, one goes on bottom, and so like it'll all slide together really easily. Like I said, it's nothing personal, buddy. I just wasn't gonna say anything derogatory on the channel. That could also get me in trouble. I'm not looking to mess with my dealio here. Because he's not wrong. It's a good way to get people to not want you in the thing is all. Because I don't even know you, so it's nothing personal. It's definitely not personal. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need? So we need red and blue and yellow. And you can see how it's coming together quite quick, where all of our pieces are almost gone. So we have, let's see, red, blue, and white. And at this point, I'm just looking at what I have and what I don't have, and I'm just trying to make sure I got them all. So, like, there's my whites, there's my yellows. So essentially, we need orange and green and yellow. And that'll finish off the yellows. Then we need an orange and green and white. This part's actually kind of fun. I mean, it's not like the most fun thing to be assembling cubes, but this is kind of cool. Yeah, it goes together really fast. That's what I was saying. Like once you have all the pieces finally, like boom, 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 they go back together. They'll go back on the cube, and it's done. That's why it was really hard to wait for the mail to get here. To be honest, I was waiting for the USPS to get here for it felt like forever. Okay, so now you're just gonna assemble this like any cube. We're just gonna put an edge piece in. I'm going to put the opposing edge piece like I usually do. And then we'll put another edge piece. This last one's always the worst to get in there. Okay, and once you have your edges in, it's so easy just to get this together. So we have white down with green and orange, white down with blue and orange, and I can feel the magnets already. And like I said, if a lot of times, so like here's a good example, like this one we have blue and red, and so essentially like and white on the bottom, this one would need to be switched. So all of the ones I've done so far have been right, but there's a 50-50 shot you're going to put it together and you're just going to need to switch the pieces because you'll have the red on the wrong side or whatever. So essentially I need to take this blue and put it like this and sorry, I keep getting out of frame, I apologize about that. So now as we put this together, now there we go, now white's on bottom, blue is with blue, now you can see red, and now we'll see if this final one matches up right. So this one I did backwards as well, but you can see how easy it is to fix. So we just pop this piece apart. I wish I wouldn't have cut my dang fingernails. This is making this job way harder than it usually is. Okay. So we're going to take and switch red and green essentially. So they're in the opposite positions. And again, that'll happen. It's not the end of the world. So now we have our bottom layer all done. And now, hopefully, now edges and everything, those you clearly can't get wrong because you can put them in either way. Yeah, and I apologize, guys, if I miss any comments that are inappropriate or anything. It just means I'm not looking at the screen for a second. Oh, is he still... Okay, he said he was gone. Sorry, I thought he was gone. I'll handle it right now. Yeah, sorry about that. If there's ever anyone putting in inappropriate comments, and like I said, if I miss it, that means I'm not looking at the screen, so just put in something like that, like you guys said, get this guy out of here, and I will handle it immediately. I apologize that you even had to deal with that. Anyone that knows me at all knows that I don't like to put up with that stuff. It's nonsense. That is very, very immature, and again, that defeats the purpose of why we're here. I want everyone to feel comfortable and safe being here, talking, chatting. I don't want people to have to come here worried that there's going to be weirdos saying creepy stuff or whatever, and I don't like that. Do not like it. And it's funny because watching the Cubicles live stream, Phil always says, he goes, YouTube has the worst spammers. And I didn't really know what he meant until I started doing live streams, and I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. because there's just, he was saying how like Discord or Twitch and other ones, he doesn't have that really that problem. And so it was interesting because I hadn't done any of those, so I didn't think much of it, you know. Oh, finally one that's done right. But yeah, again, just let me know. No worries. Yeah, don't. Yeah, no, I wasn't rude. I told him it's nothing personal. It's nothing bad. I mean, it's just if you're not going to act appropriately in here, I'm going to let you go. I mean, it's just we're here all to like communicate and converse and have a good time. And if he's going to try and ruin that, I'm definitely here to protect it, protect the space. But no, I'm not ever going to be rude to anyone. I've had so many people, you know, do weird or inappropriate stuff, and I don't just boot them. I usually have a talk with them and just, you know, try to let them understand why, you know, it's inappropriate. And that's why I told him first out of the gate. I'm like, that's just inappropriate, and it's not something we welcome here. And he had a chance to correct his behavior, so no biggie. We're not going to let it ruin our good time. Yeah, I just wanted you to know, I won't ever, I'm not going to ever like rip someone apart for that. I'll just let them go from the room, and we'll continue to have our good time. Because the other thing is, I don't want it to ruin our vibe. Like, we're having a good time. Like, I don't want that to be ruined by someone who's maybe not having a good day or whatever. Because look at Joseph just said he's having a rough day, and he's not ruining everyone else's day. Like, oh yes, it's just right. It's very light, but it's just right. Oh yes. Oh, I was so like, I was so curious how this was gonna feel when all was said and done, and I'm so happy right now. Oh, yeah, I got you. But that's exactly why, like I said, I know like Joseph voiced that he's going through some stuff today, and that's exactly where like I don't want someone, you know, if someone's going through, like you never, and that's the thing, you never know what another human's going through, so you should always assume to err on the side of caution and not necessarily treat people like they're going through something, but always just be polite to people because you never know. I mean, I've lived in some big cities. I mean, here in Colorado, this is one of the #1 gun carrying states in the nation. Like, you don't. There's one thing you don't do is you don't drive around flipping people off and being rude to people. That's a way to get shot. Like, it's sad, but it's a reality. You know, and where I'm moving to down in LA, it's like the same kind of vibe. It's like you don't know what other people are going through in their day or their life or whatever. So it's just maybe not smart to mess with people. Like, and some people have to learn that over time. You know, it's like some people it takes them longer to understand that like you never know what the world's dealing with, and so you should be polite. Yellow. Exactly. See, exactly. Can somebody see this? Is this the same person? Are we having another spammer? Like, I swear, why? What is up? Can somebody see this? Who is this? Man, you see how those magnets like they stop, but they're like, oh, this is exactly how like I feel like the magnetic Meilong or the RCM V5. I feel like that's how it feels. It's like it's got that little slight bump, but it's not like a click, 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 click. If you tell me to chill again, I might not be. I said I was chill until you said chill like 3 times. We just had someone who was being very inappropriate, so yeah, you got to understand that there was someone just in here who was being extremely inappropriate to everyone else, and he had to be kicked out. So I just had to make sure that wasn't him. I've had people be kicked out and come back in 5 different accounts. I think Joseph was here that night, and so I got to be a little bit skeptical and. But wasn't there something? I feel like there was a reason that you were gone too. God, this thing feels good. I said it. I said it. You said, tell me to chill again, and I won't be chill. Oh, man, I love the people on here. The good people are great. There's always someone that wants to spoil the fun. But what I was gonna say was I just remembered. It's constant, bro. It is literally constant. That's the only thing I don't like. I said, I love the people on here. I just there's always one. So I'm about to. I have the magnetic core coming for my Aosu, so I'm gonna magnetize the core on that, and I will be definitely doing a video for it. But so far the most modding I've done on a 4x4 is like taking it apart to clean it. That's been enough work for me so far. But no, like I said, I'm very serious about core magnetizing a bunch of my 4x4s. And doing other mods as well. People don't recommend those as much. Are there any 4x4 mods you'd like to see? Because I would love to hear, you know, maybe some mods I haven't even thought of. It's funny, Ruben. I swear the biggest challenge is just, for me at least, is just not letting it get to me. Like I said, there's always going to be those people out there, and it's just funny how they pop up here and there. And at first I used to get like so, you know, annoyed or whatever, and it's just over time I've just learned to realize that it's people. There's always those people out there, and I just try to not let it ruin our good time. That's the most important thing. Oh no, I don't mean to laugh. When I was reading that, it said exploded LOL, and I was just like, oh god, I can just imagine. I was on the plane cubing on my 7x7, and all I could think of was, please don't pop. Please don't pop. If you pop, I will literally just like probably drop the pieces on the ground in the airplane and walk away. I'm like, I will never get those pieces back if it happens like in the airplane with a million people everywhere. I was like, I'll never get all the pieces back. So yeah, and it's funny because I had just gotten it when I was on the trip, and I had not like lubed or done any setup to it, and it was getting a little catchy. It was the Alfu 7x7, and man, that was rough. That's so funny. It says some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible. I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. So actually, I take that back. I did UV coat a 4x4. One of my first like UV coating videos, I got into 3x3s, and then I had this my Chi one was my first 4x4 I ever owned, and I went ahead and UV coated that. But that's also non-magnetic, so I could absolutely magnetize that. And I have really nice light magnets. That's why I was waiting for this PyCube shop package to come, because they had nice, really light, thin magnets. So like on a 4x4 or 2x2, any even number puzzle where you have to, on the inner layers, I don't know if you've noticed, but you have to put not just one magnet between the two, but you have to do both polarities, because like with the way even puzzles work, that sometimes they'll get scrambled and they'll have opposing polarities when they come together because of the even number of pieces. And so you have to put like a positive and negative, and a positive and negative like opposites, so that way you have two attracting, so that way even if you get to a spot where they're like repelling, you'll eventually get to a spot where they're attracted again. Sorry, it's kind of hard to explain, but I have the perfect magnets to do that though, so I will absolutely do that. So you did not like it much? Because I have the regular VinCube here, and again, it's okay. It reminds me a lot of UV coated MGC. I'd love to feel that the new UV coated MGC, just to feel what it feels like. But yeah, that's why like everyone was just, I think it was that same kid that was just in here. He said like 10 different times how the ball core or magnetic core VinCube was just the best in the world, and I've felt it. Like I said, my neighbor is sponsored by PieCube Shop, so he got one of the first ones, and I was probably one of the first people to feel it, and it feels stable and nice, but it's the same size, and that's why the problem is, like, look how, God, I wish I would have brought my Hong in, but like this thing just looks huge to me. Like I don't know, my other 4x4, my Geelong Mini or my Jisoo Mini, oh, I thought you meant standard, like it was less than like ideal or whatever. Um, is it, what did you mean put stranded? Again, it feels nice. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I was just saying, like, I've been on this mission, and I was just really hoping this would be a tiny bit smaller, because almost every new cube that comes out is getting a little bit smaller and smaller. Like the excuse me, the MoU WR and V9s are 55 millimeters, but they're really like 54.7. They're on the small side. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, if you can get it on sale, heck yeah, that's the way to go. Um, yeah, I just was hoping again that this would be like 59, or like 58 or something. 58 would be perfect. I've believed this for the longest time, because they make the Jisoo or Geelong, whatever you want to call it, the YJ. They changed the name, so depends what time you're in. If you're in the past, it's called the Geelong. If you're in the future, or now it's the Jisoo. But like that cube is a 56. That's great, but their 5 mil, or their 5x5 is 58, which is a little small, I've heard, and the layers are a little hard to slice and whatnot, because you get caught up because you're trying to do a certain layer and you do another one instead. But I've always believed that if your 3x3 is around 55 to 56, depending on MoU, GAN, whatever, then why not make your 4x4 58, your 5x5 60, and then, I mean, because my Meilong 7x7 is barely bigger than this 4x4. Like, that's like, let me get it. Okay, I got the Hong and I got my 7x7, just as a size comparison. So you can see the Hong and the MGC are literally the same size. So that's all I mean when I say it feels a bit big. Because I'm getting used to a 5x5 at this size now, and this is 60. And so if this was 58, this would be so perfect. That's like literally my only qualm. Because look at this, 7x7 next to 4x4, it's almost the same size. Like it's like 1 or 2 mils bigger. And then like look at, because then you can see the 5x5, like 5x5 to 7x7, still not that much difference, but there should be a bigger difference between your 4x4 and your 7x7. That's all. I mean, these are very small pieces. Don't get me wrong. These layers would be a bit small for some people. Like when you're free slicing, it can, I definitely get times when I get 2 layers or the wrong layer or whatever. Like, I mean, it happens, but I still think that just like I said, a 58 mil would be like that sweet spot. Because like when you see it visually, you guys. Okay, no problem, Ruben. Good to have you, buddy. But yeah, well, you can see what I mean, though. Just like like I said, just wish it was a tiny bit smaller. Because then if you put them all in row, you can see, like if this was just a 58, it would be a very nice gradual step up where it goes a pretty big step here, and then these all kind of blend together. But yeah, and this doesn't even have the 6x6 in between either. But yeah, it would be both interesting to put more magnets in a magnetized cube and also magnetize a non-magnetized cube just for fun. I mean, like I really truly think that 4x4 would actually be a viable turning 4x4 if it wasn't non-magnetic, because it just locks up so much, and that's obviously the biggest issue. Anyone that has lockups is going to not be happy with their solves. Let's see. It is, how long? We were going just over 3 hours here at 6:20. So does anyone have any questions? I know there's not a lot of people or anything, but is there anyone that has questions about what we're doing, about magnetizing, any of that? Because I'm happy to answer. Because yeah, it looks like there's only like 2 people left. I just wanted to see if there's any last questions or anything, because we're done essentially. So magnetization is done. I hope that whoever gets this likes a somewhat lighter magnet, because I think this is perfect. I think that any more, and it would have just been, again, click, 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 click. I think this came out perfect. I'm very curious to see how the UV coating is going to go over these. I just hope it goes nice and flat. That's my only thing, is like I've done stickers before, but there's literally a sticker on every piece, and so I'm just hoping it comes out nice and pretty looking, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like 1 or 2 pieces first, see if it even is going to look right, and if it's going to look bad, obviously I'll just wipe it off, and maybe we won't UV coat this one, but I'm going to give it the college try here, because I would like to see what that comes out like. I think it's going to be really pretty. I think it's going to be just gorgeous. But yeah, if no one has any last minute questions or anything, I will probably go ahead and end things there. Like I said, we're just past the 3-hour mark. I really appreciate everyone that kind of hung out and watched and everything. And as you guys saw, like it's it's a process to get the magnets in the pieces, but in 3 hours, with talking and all this, I probably could have done it faster. I essentially disassembled the entire cube, took it apart, cleaned it, put all the magnets in, let all the glue dry, then put the magnets in the corner pieces, let that glue dry, reassemble the whole entire cube. I mean, so a few hours, 2-3 hours is really all it's going to take if you ever want to magnetize a 3x3 or 2x2, something on the smaller side. Here's one last little point I will leave with you guys is, so this is one cube you could not vapor polish. Hey Ruben, welcome back. That was quick. I was just saying how, just kind of how well the whole process went. Like, so we disassembled the whole cube, glued all the magnets in, put everything back together, in just under 3 hours here. We magnetized the entire cube, and yes, I am going to be going to the championships, and I'll also be going to Worlds next year. But yes, I am definitely going to go. How about you? Are you guys going? I know there's not a lot of people left in here at this point, but I feel bad. I feel like I had to kick that kid out, and I just feel like you know, I don't like to boot people out of the room, but he was being inappropriate. I don't like that. I don't want to make a reputation for just kicking everyone out, you know, like. But at the same time, I mean, if you're a nice person, you have nothing to worry about. Yeah, the VIN turns. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be competing. Actually, I probably will. I take that back. Just for fun. It's Cuban. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Joseph. And that's where literally like 90% of my family is from Minnesota, so I absolutely will be going. Most likely I'll even have a place to stay. Realistically, I probably won't even have to pay to stay there because I'll have family out there, which would be nice. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but like at the 90-degree, it locks in. And this is one where I'm going to make sure not to over lube it either, because it's not like the fastest cube. I don't know if there's like, I mean, there's no stickers on the inside, so those shouldn't affect the turning at all. Yeah, Joseph, I might have to bend your ear. So the lagging, I know it says encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings or using faster encoding. So I might have to bend your ear about how to fix that, because I've looked into it and not very much, I'll be honest. I've looked into just the actual video like settings, but I don't see a place where I can turn down you know, like the frame rate or any like the things that I'm doing, or turning down the quality, or and if I do, it doesn't seem to change that. So like I said, I'll be curious, because it says dropped frames 3,471.5%, so it's definitely lagging and missing some stuff. And do you think you would go to the Nationals, Joseph? Because especially if anyone's like, you know, hesitant about going, if you want to go and meet up and hang out or whatever, if you know, if it's more comfortable to go to a cubing comp in another state, if you know someone, like, yeah, I'm happy to like meet you guys there or whatever, and hang out, because I know how it is, especially to go to a comp in another state or far away and just be all by yourself. It's a little awkward, but there's also a million nice people there. That's the cool thing about cubing. That's why I'm surprised even to find people trolling on here, because I find so many nice people in the cubing community. I don't know why where all these like troll kids come from, but like I said, when I was watching the Cubicle, that was something Phil made a point to saying. He said, well, I get a lot more trolls on YouTube than I do on Twitch or anything. So maybe we'll just have to start moving over onto Twitch more often. And changing the pedigree of our chat here. So the Worlds are in Seattle, I want to say, aren't they? Isn't that the Worlds that are there? I think it's the Worlds 2025. Yeah, and so July 3rd through 6th in 2025 is Seattle Convention Center in Seattle, Washington. See, and like, well, it's funny you say that, Joseph, because have you noticed that every one of the trolls was getting cheese puffs? You don't have to apologize for that. Cheese puffs are awesome. But Joseph, have you noticed how the trolls? I think you're right about that because one, I always look at their page, like right when they start going off. The first thing I do is I click on go to channel and I go look at their channel, and they usually have no videos, no posts, no content whatsoever. That's a huge red flag for me. Um, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that as I was reading the dates. That's a good point. Yeah, you're gonna spend 4th of July at the comp essentially. Um, but have you noticed how every one of the trolls comes in and is like, I cube this fast. I know 400 ZBLLs. I know, like, it's almost like they're reading from a script. It's like it's the exact same thing that every little troll person comes in like, hey, I solve in 12 seconds and I know every ZBLL and I know this and that, and it's like, okay, you sound like a parrot of the last person we had to kick out. um, I don't know if that. Yeah, I mean that, but I mean I don't expect everyone to have posts about cubing and stuff. I'm just saying like anyone who says they know 400 ZBLLs but doesn't have a single cubing video, that's a little suspect. Because anyone that's put in that much time, they usually want to share it with people. That's why I don't discourage them sharing that information, because I could see wanting to come into a place, and because one kid, I was so used to having trolls in here that I was almost a little harsh on him when he came in and started bragging, and he was like, I'm sorry, I just really wanted to share my times with someone. And I was like, oh man, now I feel bad, because that's that's my vibe. I'm all about encouraging people to feel comfortable in coming in here and sharing. And so I felt so bad for like discouraging him from sharing, but I just feel like that's like the MO of them. Like they come in here, they brag about their times, and they start trying to like get all this attention, and I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I know. I'm like, she's been so patiently waiting for me all day, so I'm gonna give her a break here. And since I don't have the cube open anymore, it's not a big deal. It's not like her hair is gonna get in it or anything. This is Ninja. You can say hi. Hi, Bubbly. Hi. Hi. She looked right at you guys. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. She gave you the death stare. That was like, why are you filming me? I legitimately think she knows. Just FYI. Like, if I pull out my phone and try to take a picture, even if I just pull out my phone, she literally runs away. She's like, nope, you can't film me. But yeah, I think it is, Joseph. I think they're desperate for attention. And that's the same reason why when you're like, don't be rude, I was like, trust me, because I don't want to make them feel bad either. That's not my vibe either. I'm not trying to. Exactly, that's what I do. Is like when you see their comments disappear like that, I can tell you that's usually me just getting rid of them and not saying anything. I mean, like I give them usually one warning. I'll say, hey, that's inappropriate, and if they don't stop, I just go ahead and hide them from the channel or whatever. And that's, again, it's a bummer because I don't want to be kicking people out of the chat, but it's my job. I feel like it's my responsibility to protect the integrity of this chat also, though. Like, by letting just anyone say whatever, it's like I feel like I'm not keeping you guys in a place where you're safe to talk. And I don't know, I know that's probably overthinking it, but I'm kind of an overthinker. I've said it a million times. I'm a little OCD. Like, even these cubes being all turned differently, I'm like, I literally keep looking down, and I'm like, why are they all turned wrong? Like it's just one of those things. Like, but yeah, Joseph, I agree. And that's what I think. That's why they come back, because they don't realize that they've been booted because I do it politely. I just kind of like escort them out, and then they're like, wait, what happened? Where'd I go? Whoa, oh, dude, I thought that was 3x3 at first. I was like, whoa, bro. I was like, you almost just set a record. I mean, that's still epic. I mean, trust me, I do 2x2, and that's still a great time. A lot of times I swear, for me to get that good of a time, I need to skip. Like, but that's the other thing. On 2x2, you get a lot of skips. Like, so I don't mean to like sound like the biggest J-Perm, like, fanboy or whatever, but like, because I bring him up a lot, But I was watching one of his videos, and he was the one that you can quote him saying this. He goes, I don't like solving 2 by 2. He said, but I practice because there's always the chance that you could get like a 4 move. Because think about it, the regulation. The regulation in WCA competitions is that it has to be at least 4 moves for it to count as a solution, right? So if you get a 4 move solution on 3 by 3 and you're prepared for that, you could literally set a record at like any point. If you get a last layer skip, or you get like a 4 turn solution or something like that, you could absolutely set a record at, like, even if it's just a national record or whatever. Like, I mean, you have a chance. So it was an interesting point, because he's like, I pretty much do 2 by 2 just in the off chance that I get a great scramble and I can set a record. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, you're right though. The new people, I feel like, I mean, it's hard because I can't just judge all new people like that. But like, I think a lot of the new people are the ones that are the trolls though. So it's a hard, it's kind of like a 50-50 or 6.5 dozen type thing. Like, man, that's a hard. I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos about that, where people are like, all right, I'm gonna set a world record, and they have a 1 by 1 sitting there, and they have their hands on the thing, like, they just pick it up, set it down, and do the timer. That's like the most classic. I forget who it was. I was watching again a JPerm. I was watching a bunch of JPerm videos last night, because there was a guy did a clickbait video. It said JPerm banned, and so I ended up watching it, and he's not banned at all. It was such a clickbait title. I was actually pissed when I got to the end of the video, because this is like, again, clickbait titles and thumbnails are not so bad if the content is actually good, but he literally clickbaited me and then said nothing new whatsoever, and that's why I was pissed. I was like, so you got me to click on this for literally nothing to say. Like, that's where I was like, okay, don't waste my time. Like, because I've yeah, see, I'm like, I feel like that was like the staple back in the day, was like, make that joke 1 by 1 video. But yeah, like, I don't mind clickbaity titles at all if when you watch them you get something out of them. But this kid literally just repeated, oh, JPerm's doing what is it, Mario Kart, he's doing this. It was like the same thing that every JPerm video has said, and I was like, oh, I was pissed. I was like, don't do that. I literally left the guy a comment. I said, there's one thing in that I believe in this world, and I said, and it's, don't do that. Like, I don't like that at all. Like, my time, like I said, my time is at least precious enough to not be wasted watching videos for like the 4th time, especially when people regurgitate information. It's like, that's not any new information. He's literally taken other people's videos, reposted them, put a clickbaity thumbnail, and then that's it. No, I mean, one, he seems like such a pleasant person. Like, even when he's like being sarcastically rude on YouTube, he still doesn't seem like a rude person. I don't think. No, I don't think. I mean, and plus he's on YouTube. He's just on a new channel. Um, that I don't know, to be honest. Like, if you've seen that there's like speed, even so, this is where I truly don't know about that, and I wonder. Cube Range, if he ever comes in the chat, just so you know, he is also Canadian and he knows JPerm. So you can always ask him if he's heard anything. But if you watch the SpeedCube shop video, the way they're begging JPerm to come back to the cubing scene, it makes it seem like he has made no like communication effort at all to let them know, like, hey, I'm taking a break and I'll be back at this time. Like, they pretty much were like, hey, can everyone reach out to him and tell him how much they miss him? Because it doesn't sound like that there's been any plans to return. Plus, his YouTube video or his YouTube channel for Mario Kart, he's getting like 100,000 views for playing Mario Kart. So I have a feeling he's gonna hit like 1 million subscribers, like the first Mario Kart channel to get 1 million subscribers, and he's probably just gonna be like, well, why am I cubing when I could play Mario Kart for a living? I mean, that might be it. I don't know. He might just get revitalized, get some new ideas, and pop back on the scene. Um, you know, I wish him the best regardless of what he's doing, but I can't say for sure, which is a bummer. I'll try and find out though. I'll reach out to more people in the community and see if they've ever heard anything, because I do at least have a few like contacts in the community. Yeah, exactly. Like that's why, like I said, if for speak. Oh no! Oh my God! The cat went and stepped on the laptop. Oh my God! She climbed up and like it. I was like, oh my God! That's so funny. I'm gonna send this. That's what the cat typed. Those are the only 2 letters she could type before I got her off the keyboard. And she was like one away from hitting like a command key or whatever and changing things all around. So I'm very lucky. Maybe she was spelling kitty. But yeah, like again, exactly. SpeedCube Shop is his sponsor. You'd think they would know, if anyone, if he's coming back or not. So to see them being like, man, I hope JPerm comes back. If you guys can, reach out to him and let him know how much you miss him. Like that sounds to me like there's been no communication about, unless they're just trying to pump it up, unless they're trying to like amp up his return so when he comes back, you know, it's a huge deal. Like that also could be the case. He might just be taking a break, building up ideas, and then all of a sudden he's going to make this triumphant return. Um, that would be my guess too. Oh my gosh. That's how so I know I make jokes about those little robots from Moyu, but that's like literally what I think. When I'm sitting there looking at those robots, I'm like, ooh, that one's giving that one the stink eye. I don't know if they're gonna get along. Like, and then like I'm expecting to come back and one's gonna be like destroyed and one's gonna have like a little sword in his hand or something. I like I wish I did animation because I would absolutely do some hilarious animations with those guys and with just different like Cuba Rhythms or like J-Perm actually, and Cuba Rhythms were kind of in a competition like years ago because Cuba Rhythms does everything animated. I don't think he does any. I mean, he does some unboxings. I would say, but I think he does almost every video animated, um, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's basic, and I don't know. I don't really like his algs. He recommends a lot of weird algs, like like for your dual headlight case, like front and back, for your OLL. He tells you to do an F, a triple sexy move, and then an F prime, which it does work, but I don't know anyone that does that. Like I do the R, U2, you know, there it is. Like so, you have headlights on that side, headlights on that side. So the way he sets it, like I said, you do F, triple sexy, and you do get it. I mean, it works, but it sets up a very oh, and it set up a Y perm actually. See, this is what I mean. Like they were saying, he was saying he had a hard time, um, like recognizing things on this cube. I actually don't. Like because there's more pieces with the 2x2. Like think about it. You have only like let's see here. You have like those 4 pieces, and most of it's blocked by black. But you see, like when you look at this with these 9 pieces, I can see that's yellow. For some reason, the 3x3 is so much more easier to recognize to me than that 2x2. You can tell by username, but I do. Oh, is that what BBX? Oh, awesome! See, like I could absolutely see JPerm doing that. Um, yeah, Joseph. Sorry, I didn't mean to not answer your question. So yeah, like he literally like if you look, there's like a maybe one video or so from like 4 months ago, and then the rest are from like 7 months ago, and it keeps getting longer and longer. Um, But yeah, it's everyone, like every video you watch is now like he's been gone for this long. Ooh. Oh, you're this one, the one that came with the order. Yeah, I got mine, and that's why, like I said, I've been, I was able to compare them, and like I said, I personally, because I gave one of those to a friend of mine, the carbon fiber ones. I got her the RS3M Super 2022 ball core edition for her first 3x3, and then I gave her the carbon fiber covered 2x2. I started a couple years ago. Man, the magnetism is like just perfect. Like I'm sure you guys can see where it stops, but it's so like this has to be almost exactly what they're using in the RS3M V5 or like the WRM SE. Like it feels almost exactly the same. Like this is the special edition Worm V9, and like that, the amount of click is just like so close. Yeah, that was and that's another way. Like people always ask how I afford to do the giveaways. Well, like a lot of times I'll place orders for myself, and if I get any gifts given to me, then I pretty much like pass those along. But not only do I pass them along, but I'll mod them out, and that way you don't just get something just that I got given to me, given to you. I pretty much will take it, make it something special and unique, and then give it away to everyone. I mean, because I could just take the free cubes I get from like the cubicle and give those away as free cubes. And when I'm really busy, like that's what like the RS3M V5, like, but those I'll also order a few of just to have backups. I really like that one. Yeah, Joseph, I think we got a very similar order because we both spent over $100. And if you get over $100, you got the sticker, you got the 2x2 carbon fiber, and then you got the RS3M V5 dual adjustment with the robot, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the $100 order minimum, or the requirements. And that's the other reason too, like sometimes I'll hold off on my order. Like last week, there was like, I know you were excited about the, oh, no worries, Ruben, I'm going to go eat here in a minute too. I'm just kind of rambling. No, man, it's not bad if your first competition is a blind. Like, I mean, if as long as you're prepared and you feel like you're ready to do it, then no, I don't think it's ever bad. And even if you're not prepared, go. I always tell this to people, even if you don't have, aren't feeling super prepared or whatever, set a really simple goal for yourself. Like even if it's just finishing the solve. Like I know when you first get started, finishing a blind solve is actually a huge part of it. Like just getting it finished. But like maybe set a slower time for yourself, so but try and beat that. But like also set that as like a goal. And if you don't beat it this one, just know the next time, that's your goal. Because again, competitions are more about beating your own times than I mean, I know obviously, like to get the awards and podium and all that, you got to beat everyone else, but that takes time, and the people that are podium didn't start podium, on the podium. They started lower and they worked their way up, and so I would say go for it. And also, like if there's no minimum, like you can look on the website for the comp if they have a minimum for that event. And if there's no minimum, I would definitely do it. And even if there is a minimum, like worst thing happens, they stop you and they say, hey, you reached your maximum time, or whatever. And then make your next goal for the next comp to finish before the cutoff. Like, just make it where it's fun for yourself, and you don't beat yourself up if you don't do, win your first comp. But you never know, you might, man. Like, I don't, I've never met you. You could do great. See, Joseph, you're like me. I'm like, I start making up stories in my head. They start doing funny things. Like, I don't know if you watched my last unboxing, but they were like, they were just sitting there, and I was like, I think that one's gonna ask that one to go have a drink. He was like, you want a Coke? Like, I just say that for some reason they have funny personalities to me. And sometimes they're not nice. Sometimes they're kind of angry little robots. And I know with blind too, because inspection is all part of the time. So like 6 minutes is not as slow as, you know, that people might be thinking, oh, 6 minutes or whatever. But like that, like to even just to memorize the cube is a feat. So like again, maybe make your first goal that you just finish and solve the cube, and you know from there just keep setting goals for yourself and keep beating them, and you're gonna feel good about that. I promise. You're gonna feel good when you leave and you've set, you know, beat the goal that you set for yourself. Because again, there's always gonna be fast people. There's always gonna be people that are better or whatever. But I don't think it's worth keeping you from you know from cubing. Is it 10 minutes? Did you look it up? Because yeah, if it's 10 minutes and you're at 6, absolutely do it. Like there's at that point there's nothing holding you back. Okay, so that's what this channel's all about. We're like, go get it, man. I believe in you. You can do it. He'll let me in there. That's fair. I mean, and I understand. Like, you know, we all want to keep. So again, just keep setting goals for yourself. Maybe make your next one to get to like 5:30 or 5 minutes. Just because you know, just remember, getting from 6 minutes down to 1 minute. That's a journey. So just maybe make the you know the increments, you know, something reasonable, so that way you can keep reaching your goals. But I'm sure you know all of this too. I'm just kind of giving my opinion on. This is just my strategy to learning anything. Like I said, I used to be a teacher for music and different things, and so I do at least understand how to learn something in a you know efficient way without being overwhelmed, essentially. So has your vision been hindering you at all, or has that been pretty good? Have you been getting has it been getting kind of better, like getting used to solving the cube and stuff with? It's funny too. I thought of you when I was thinking of this cube because it's textured. I know they're not different textured on each side, but I did think of you when I was you know setting this cube up. I was like, I wonder if this would be good for Joseph at all. I really did. Like, right? That's funny because Sean from SpeedCube Review, he's a teacher. Um, yeah, I would absolutely agree. And and even if they're not like a teacher professionally, they usually teach cubing, even if nothing else. So most people, I feel like, are pretty good at like helping and sharing with other people. It's funny. Jacob told me, he goes, I'm trying to help, but I'm not a good teacher, and he's just very good, and his brain is so far advanced from a beginner, you know, that it's sometimes a disconnect in the communication, but he's actually very good. Um, oh, see, and that like I could see that. That's why like on my Megaminx, I actually swapped out tan. It's funny because someone else said this on a video, but they said the tan on the Diane Megaminx is way too close to the white because I literally, instead of taking off gray and putting in black, I took off the tan side and put in black because I figured if tan and white were getting confused, put black in there. It's the furthest from white as you can get. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Life happens, and sometimes life does get in the way, for sure. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, as you can see, like this cube stops at the 90 degree a lot better now. Like, I mean, it's not perfect because again, they're pretty light magnets, but I think that's a good thing. I think that between lubing and UV coating, I think this is just going to be, because this, like I said, this is what factory cube. I mean, I couldn't think of anything closer. I mean, can you hear the I'm gonna do a solve on this real quick. Just curious. Now you got me wondering too, like if this is actually harder for me to see, or if this is easier, or what. Like, it's not too bad, honestly. It takes like an extra second, which is it would kill you if you're trying to do this timed, because it does take an extra second to recognize the colors. Like, I mean, it's not impossible by any means, but like that 3 mover was easy to see. And like seeing what, like when I'm making pairs, seeing if they're going to be right or if the colors are going to be like backwards, that's really the hardest thing. Oh, how did I do the wrong OLL? That doesn't even seem possible at this point, but and like OLL, okay, so or PLL recognition, I will say that gets a little bit hard. Like this is definitely a GA perm, but like so you have your headlights on this side. So, and this is the side facing me, and when you have your 2 block of a G perm facing you, that's a GA. If it was up here, it'd be the GB, GC, GD, but yeah, I mean, it's not bad though. I mean, like I said, it takes, I did this with the 2x2, and it takes a few solves, and then you start seeing the colors a lot easier. But I think it's when the cube's moving fast. That's when it's really hard, because you have something blurring and impeding with what the colors are. Oh, interesting. So maybe this would help. Because they do, like, once you, like, do they look different to you on here? Yellow, white, yellow, white. Man, I'm so happy with that. I am just so happy. I'm going to probably let it sit, just make sure all the glue sits nice and gets settled. Interesting. So maybe this is the one. That's good to know. I'm glad we chatted about that. Alright guys, I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to go check on dinner. I know we only have a few people in here, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, I always, you guys, like I said, I know who's around and who's not, and I appreciate you guys so much. I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like I said, I apologize that you guys have to. That was really nice of Ruben to say, like, I feel bad that you have to deal with that kind of stuff. But hey, Ruben, I was just saying, it was so nice of you to say that, you know, I feel bad that you have to deal with those kind of people and stuff. And I just hope you guys know that I feel bad that you guys even have to deal with that. And so, like I said, if anyone ever is inappropriate at all, just please let me know, and I'll take care of it as soon as possible. I just want you guys to know I got your back. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. Peace, everybody. Yellow and goodbye. And my new favorite saying, happiness is contagious, so spread it. I gotta leave you guys with that one. Actually, the real saying is kindness is contagious. You guys have a beautiful evening. Again, I will be posting tomorrow the UV coating process on this cube. Man, love those magnets. And yeah, we'll get this out we'll finally get our giveaway handled. Sorry, this one turned into a 2-weeker, but sometimes that just was life. But yeah, appreciate you guys and have a beautiful night. And I will see you all soon. Send you guys some love before I go. Hearts.